The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Monday, April 25th, 2022, and we are 3 days away from the Draft Spectacular. We can't get enough for watching this sports show here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. The weather was superb here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Got a chance to enjoy it a little bit. Got to hang out by the pool, get a third-degree burn on my back.
What?
Got to golf a little bit on Steve's course. Go ahead and hack the hell out of that thing. A couple dandelions and maybe, what, is that a sand trap? No, that's T-box. That's Steve's course. Got to do that a little bit. Relax with the wife. Have a great time. And look forward to the Draft Spectacular. Our biggest show of the year is coming up just 3 days from now, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. This year's going to be big.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
We got war room conversations locked in. Okay?
Whoa, what?
So we're going to be talking to people in war rooms throughout the evening. Sheesh. We have big giveaways on the horizon. The Draft Spectacular giveaways are always more than spectacular. They're stupendous.
Hell yeah.
And we have big name guests stopping by too. Surprises.
Ooh.
Surprises.
Mm-hmm. Might as well.
Aaron Rodgers will be there. Draft Spectacular Thursday. We will be talking.
Whoa, Raji!
Yeah, that deserved a little bit more hype, a little bit more build-up, but we do have a confirmed guest of Aaron Rodgers stopping by. Cannot wait to chat with him. Obviously, the ever-toxic AJ Hawk might be live in studio, might be in the attic in Ohio, not 100% sure. Big giveaways more. I can't wait for it. I am pumped. Now, with that being said, a lot has happened with the odds on who's going to get drafted number one overall from Friday to today, from yesterday to this morning almost. Everybody had Aiden Hutchinson being a lock to be the number one overall pick since the beginning of this entire draft season had began. But this weekend, the odds at FanDuel Sportsbook have changed immensely. Now, Travon Walker out of the University of Georgia, heavily favored to go number one overall. Aiden Hutchinson, second highest odds to go number one overall. That's mighty. That's big. What does FanDuel know that we don't know? Well, we'll ask John Sheeran, an Irish fella. He's the head odds maker for FanDuel Sportsbook. As we saw this, he's been on Hammer Dahn before. Actually, a pretty clever guy.
Yeah.
Now, he is the person that we were competing against every single fucking day to take their money in FanDuel. He's the head odds maker, the head bookmaker. He's the guy that's deciding where's going what, and it's his team that put this particular. Who did they talk to? What do they know? Or are they just trying to read the tea leaves like the rest of us? We'll chat with him today. We'll talk to Ian Rappaport today.
Rapshi.
Yeah, Rapshi, what's going on with this? What's going on with Debo down in the club in Miami? What's going on in all these other situations that could, kick up a notch on Thursday whenever draft day happens? Because for whatever reason, the first day of the draft, there's always kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. The NFL loves the draft. The NFL loves how big the draft has gotten. It's almost as if the NFL understands that this could be another massive function that the NFL can profit off of. Remember, the combine used to be nobody watching, nobody caring, and then the NFL realized, oh shit, I think people would watch this. Boom! Gets higher ratings than all baseball games, all hockey games, all everything like that. The draft used to just be done in New York, same thing every single year, and it was multiple rounds in each day. They have now taken that thing on the road, getting a live audience. They've stretched it out so goddamn long. Let's have one round here, one round here. But the draft, the NFL understands that the draft is a time where all eyes are on the NFL. So as we've been doing this Draft Spectacular the last 3 years, what I've learned, and I might be wrong and it might not be forever, but a lot of shit goes down on draft day.
Yeah.
A lot of rumors are released. Last year, it was the Aaron Rodgers wants to be traded from the Green Bay Packers news after accumulation of information that Adam Schefter had done over months of hearing people talk behind the scenes, dropped that on there. 2 years ago, obviously, the Jordan Love thing and everything like that. But there's always just little nuggets that pop out of draft day. And that's good news for us because, goddamn, the offseason has gone a little bit dry.
Oh, yeah.
There's been basketball. There's been Tyson Fury knocking out Dylan White in the 6th round.
Slight work.
That was awesome. The Super Boost hit. I know he talked up Dillian White and everybody else talked up Dillian White. That was pretty obvious early, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty obvious early that
Yes.
Tyson Fury was not fucking around. Made like $33 million or $36 million or something like that. And we all made a bunch off the Super Boost. So I enjoyed that. Unless he's fighting every single fucking weekend, I'm not sure what we're going to dive into. Boom, the draft comes around and says, hello. Ty Schmidt, how was the weekend? What are you looking forward to for draft night? Which has become a Ty Schmidt special.
Oh, yeah.
Weekend was great. Like you said, the weather was phenomenal, but it really was. I mean, I woke up this morning and had a tingle all over my body. It is Draft Spectacular Week. I am incredibly excited. Like you said, the last 2 years, it's kind of... We talked about this off the air. Personally, it has really sucked, for what the Packers have done both years, kind of, and then last year with all the Rodgers stuff. Professionally, it's been great. So I'm hoping, we can kind of meld that a little bit, and I don't have to, right after the draft's over and we're all done saying, hey, that was a lot of fun. We did a great job tonight. I don't have to immediately get depressed and be like, oh, okay.
And go home, drink a bunch of whiskey.
Exactly. Why?
Drown
Yeah.
yourself in your sorrows, and then know you have to answer for it on Friday the next day as well.
Right, yeah. So that stuff hasn't been great, but I mean the Packers are in a good spot. I feel like, and I say this damn near every year, which is pretty stupid, but going in, I'm more excited this year than I was last year. There are so many possibilities with what they could do, and it is kind of setting up to just be let down by all of them. So I can't wait. I am so excited.
I can't wait to see what you do on draft night, Ty. I can't wait to see what the Packers do to see what you do to what the Packers do on draft night. Just a few days away. It is going to be spectacular. I am pumped about it.
Yeah, so am I.
Because now we at least have something to tease about. too.
Right.
Talk about it.
And react to. Oh, who did what? What are they thinking? Oh, they must hate this player if they're going after that player. What does that mean for the long-term effects? The interesting thing about this draft, and we talked about this right before we came on air. So if we were to have a talent mountain.
Sure.
Okay, and we have not done any scouting. This is just what we're hearing from everybody else. So to the players that are about to be put on this mountain, no offense.
Not us saying.
No offense. Sorry about it. This is just what everybody else seems to say. On the mountain of talent mountain,
Sure.
we'll call it. It's a tall mountain.
Oh, yeah, like Everest.
There's a lot of talent. There's the no talent motherfuckers right down here at the bottom.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, they ain't got no talent. Might be good people, probably good people, ain't got no talent. Then you move into high school good talent. All right, here it is, football, obviously, playing football. NAIA or I don't play football again. Okay, right here, okay, I might play a little bit more because love of the game or something. Then you got the D3 talent.
Right.
D2 talent. D1 AA talent,
Hard workers.
then the D1 talent, then you have the NFL talent. Oh shit, okay, that's just make it to the NFL talent. Then there's the great players in the NFL talent, and then the peak, up here is here's fucking superstars.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And you see it's like triangle because it's getting smaller because there's less of those motherfuckers out there.
That's right.
Okay, you see that. So when you get up, it feels like in drafts past, there has been more people up in that peak area projected in the NFL, and then it kind of fizzles out a little bit. This year, it feels like there ain't a single motherfucker at that mountaintop.
No.
It feels like everybody is right up here in this, hey, a lot of good football players in this draft. A lot of players that are going to make teams, going to do stuff, but there hasn't really been that conversation about, hey, this person is a all-pro year one. This person's a game changer, game wrecker. This person. And once again, we have to say, this is not from our scouting.
No.
This is from everybody else that does it because we refuse to do it because that's a lot of time none of us would be good at it.
Yeah.
What we're hearing.
Yeah, we are just what we're hearing. So that is why I think this draft doesn't have as much juice as maybe drafts in the past. But whenever you see teams making plays, that automatically tells you their thoughts on their team and their thoughts on the draft class. Everybody's allegedly wanting to trade back, Connor. That's what the rumor is. Everybody's trying to get the fuck out of there. Even Jacksonville might be trying to get out of there at one. Allegedly is what we're hearing.
Yeah, which I love because Bill loves to do exactly the opposite of what everyone's doing. So if everyone wants to trade back, then maybe the Patriots make a move up. But to your point, because there isn't that top tier, hey, this guy's going to be a stud, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, those type of guys, I feel like everybody, all 32 picks, have a ton of hope then. Because hey, sure, Packers, they're picking at 22, but because everyone's kind of at this weird level on talent mountain, those guys might turn into the next Deebo Samuel.
And is everybody just better than ever before? Is that what's going on? And why does it feel like it is so deep in? Aiden Hutchinson ran 6-something.
Yeah, fastest ever.
Fastest of all time. And everybody's talking about him not being the best athlete in this entire thing, even though everybody says, no, Aiden Hutchinson has some freak athlete tendencies. Well, his ceiling isn't nearly as high as Travon Walker, who they don't think he's even tapped into his greatness yet. It's like, well, how do we know that? How do we, because... And then Thibodeau has been yodeling back up in January. He's supposed to be number 1 overall. Evan Neal potentially sneaking into the top 5. Last week, 2 out of the top 4 mocks didn't even have him in the top 10. He was like the 4th offensive lineman taken. Yeah. Now he's moving up. Nobody knows shit about fucking this Tone Diggs. Nobody knows anything about what's going to happen on Thursday night.
No, nobody knows anything, and we've talked about this before with the books. So it's the best opportunity. The books don't know shit either. So
well, we're going to find out. John Sheehan.
Yeah, we are going to find out.
Feet to the fire.
We're going to find out. But
welcome to Thunder.
Besides the draft, the main talk has been about these wide receivers whose contracts are up, and none of those wide receivers whose contracts are up who are getting the biggest money were even first-round picks 4 years ago or whenever it was, 3 years ago. So, like the wide receiver depth, everyone talks about the wide receiver depth just because you talk about it all the time. It's good content on Instagram, them working on their routes, working on their feet. Wide receivers have never been more ready for the NFL. So I think I think the wideouts will be great. They talk about the O-lines will be great, but quarterbacks, no. McShay just said he doesn't see one going in the top 19.
So then is there going to be a run again? Because I think the over-under is on 3.5 for QBs in the first round or whatever. That's a pretty high number. High number.
And because of that, you might think hey, maybe Jimmy G gets moved then on draft night. And maybe Baker Mayfield gets moved on draft night just because if guys don't, get the guy they want, then why wouldn't they now go after him?
Mr. Renan, I believe he's ESPN NFL Nation reporter for the Panthers, is stating that if Baker Mayfield was to go to the Carolina Panthers, it would not be on Thursday. It would probably come after then. I believe it was the exact quote. We have a tweet on it. I think Fox is trying to find it right now. No, the Panthers are not expected to trade for Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield it was from Rappaport. Prior to the first round of the NFL draft, sources say if they do it at all, Thursday has to play out first before any other options are considered. Carolina picks number 6. So that is potentially a piece of information that the Panthers want out because they want people still to think that they might take a quarterback so they can maybe get a good trade offer for number 6 overall, or whoever's at 7 can sweat a little bit, or maybe they are taking quarterback to see which quarterback's left in case anybody trades ahead of them. We don't know what to believe and what not to believe, but Baker to Carolina was started by Rappaport almost. Even though Baker on the You Never Know podcast with just Mike said that ship has sailed or whatever, now he's walking it back potentially. What does Rappaport know? We'll ask him in 5 minutes.
You can draft this. This is one of my favorite things. FanDuel has every single team listed, and then they have every position listed for every team. Like Panthers right now are minus 105 to take a lineman, minus 105 to take a quarterback, and you can bet on that for every team.
Wow,
like
there's a
that
couple
a lot.
spots where you probably make good money.
Packers are minus 170 to take a wide receiver, which they haven't done since fucking 2000 or something like that.
Yeah, it's been 20-some years. Yeah, 20 years or whatever since they've taken a weapon, I think, in the first round, right?
Tight end, running back.
Just an offensive skill position.
I think Javon Walker was the last one in 2002.
And now it's minus 175. Hey, Mark Murphy is unpredictable, dude.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
The minus 175?
No.
Because they'll figure out a way.
Well, I'm also just thinking that there is a very good chance that, these receivers, the Packers would potentially have to trade up this year to get one of the guys they really want. And if they don't get a receiver, if they don't get the guy that they want by 22, I think that they might go just defense, both picks.
Hell yeah.
I could see it happening.
You gotta love it.
Could.
You gotta love
or
it.
O-line. At this point, it's almost kind of funny that they would do it maybe just to spite Rodgers. It's like,
they're on a better relationship.
Yeah, for sure. But
and there's Odell Beckham Jr. is available out there. Jarvis Landry's available out there. And Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Also allegedly available out there in his eyes. We don't know if that's how the Niners feel. This weekend, things really heated up at Francis Martinelli's club. And I say Francis Martinelli's club because we'll get to that in a second. A video hit the internet this weekend and ran wild. It was of a bottle service situation popping up, and the sign reads, Deebo staying with the Niners. A camera then cuts from the sign to Deebo, who is in the VIP section of said club by a couch, rocking an incredibly thick Cuban link and another chain, looking very fresh, and he cuts out, nah. So the internet says he is not going back to the Niners. He obviously just mocked that. Francis Martinelli hit a follow-up piece, a post, and he said, this is my club, okay? Francis Martinelli says. He wasn't saying no to the Niners sign. He was saying no to the waitresses bringing it over to his table. Oh. The same client sent ones out after saying, don't worry, Debo, your money is coming from the Niners, and he was smiling. I spoke with him all night. He's fine.
Okay.
So
there you go.
A couple follow-ups. I'm sure Debo loves that the owner of the fucking club is recording him and putting it out and causing controversy.
Sure.
I'm sure he also loved the fact that the owner was just fucking sitting in his section talking to him all goddamn night. And I'm assuming he is also pumped that the owner came out and clarified the whole story for everybody to understand that all things are okay.
Everybody's happy. Who's not happy in this situation? The owner had a great night. Debo got to hang out with this guy all night, and his money's coming to him. Everyone's happy. It's win-win.
By the way, club looked lit.
Yeah, it did.
Will say it looked like a great time.
It did.
Anytime the signs and sparklers are coming out, and that. By the way, the invention of the light thing in the end of the bottle. Really changed the game.
Oh, yeah. Big
Next
time.
level.
That's when you know.
That really changed the game. That made it a lot more efficient to have a little bit bigger show for the bottles coming out.
Right.
Back in the day, bottle service was not nearly as awesome as it currently is.
No.
Yeah.
I got a chance to experience both kind of sides of it. Much better nowadays. I mean,
Yeah, the
it's
drum
like-
too.
Oh, the drum. The drum was awesome. I was part of a drum line for one bottle service.
best.
Okay.
I was part of it. I got in the drum line. Took a guy's drum.
Have to.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, don't have a choice.
You gotta do it. I'm so sorry. Hey, next time you guys come out with one of those, can I get the drum?
Classic Nick Cannon.
Well, I can't read the music, but I can
bang the
hear,
shit out of the
I
drum.
can hear it and do the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they came up to I think a table next to us, and I started playing the guy's drum. He was sitting there. They were trying to set something up, and I grabbed the sticks and I started playing. It might have been the best drums I've ever done in my entire life, actually. And now, granted, we're in a club, you can't really hear it, but it felt like it was really.
Yeah,
On
the rhythm
beat.
was there.
Yeah.
It felt like it was really going. And then I asked, like, hey, next time, can I get a thing? No problem. So they gave me a heads up before they came out. The guy came up and got me. Obviously tipped the person to do this. Put the drum on. I fucking came out with them. Right up to the VIP thing, man. Oh, I had a blast. Me and clubs used to be just an absolute menace. I used to be a menace. I need 100 shots. I'm going to put that drum on.
that fucking drum.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a good time. Hey, let's go. Let's do this thing. Can we turn it up another hour or two? I'll pay for you. Let's keep it going.
That's how it should
Menace.
be.
Yeah.
You got to do that. Do we know?
Everybody's having a good
That's
time.
how Tuesdays become jail and Wednesdays.
Sure, sure,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Things like that.
That'll
But
happen.
It was a good time. I feel like everybody had a good time.
Do we know if Precious was there with Debo, or was
I did
she-
not see
I
Miss
didn't see her.
Precious there.
Okay.
Miss Precious, though, did come into Celebrity last week after a live got broadcasted. That was a TikTok live, said Mitt Talk. Once
Oh,
again.
okay. Good to know.
But the Debo situation will continue to evolve because he doesn't want to be there. But the Niners allegedly haven't made an offer and also hold all the control. So what the fuck's going to happen, none of us will ever know.
Yeah, I feel like they're really gonna have to be blown away on draft night. Like it's fun to speculate right now, like, oh, he's gonna get traded on Thursday night. But like, I mean, at this point, they said they want 2 ones. Like, is a team like the Giants, like, would they really, give all of their draft capital to get a guy like Debo? Maybe.
Maybe because the way this draft is set up with
Yeah.
the middle of the mountain,
Right.
Tiger Mountain. Joining us now is a man who might know more about this than any of us would. But then that would mean that he would have had to have been working and not boozing.
Yeah, and that's
not
impossible.
true.
And we don't know if he could do both of them yet. Remember, he went to the Harry Potter Museum, then the Pez dispenser thing.
Yep.
And he really changed his entire life. We don't know what he's doing now as opposed to what he was doing back then. Immediately upon arriving at Super Bowl, he drank every bottle of alcohol that LA had.
Yep.
Yeah, all of it.
Broke no news during the entire week.
No, none.
He's just getting back in a news-breaking game. Maybe he's a little bit sobered up. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
What's up?
Hey, Ian. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. I'm in our suite at the Cosmo. So I don't know a lot about Vegas, but I heard this is where the ballers stay, so I'm actually not staying here. But this is where our suite is for our live shot location. I can give you a little tour if you want after we talk about all this stuff. It's going to look awesome on draft night.
Well, what socks are you going to wear?
Yep. Did you guys vote?
Did we already start the voting process?
Yeah, it's been on. I assume you voted already, but it's been ongoing, so you probably should weigh in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
yeah, on your Twitter.
Can you do it again?
No, there. Yep. Interestingly, the Pez are it's Pez versus sushi, which is really quite the battle.
Really? Because those both stink.
Where's this at? Oh, geez, sushi's awesome. Where's this at? This on your Twitter or Instagram?
This is on the old Instagram. The Biggie socks are running away with it. Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are night one, right?
I think those are going to be. I have to go back and look. I forget now. There's a lot of news in my head. A lot of stuff to talk about. So it's not always enough room for socks. I mean, look at the Pez are great.
Yeah, but
Pez
these
are
socks
actually women's socks, but that's actually okay.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, unisex if you have tiny little feet or whatever. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Kind of mean, but not wrong.
No, well, just kind of a statement of fact. Let's move on here. Let's talk about some news of the draft. FanDuel Sportsbook's odds this morning. We woke up. Travon Walker favored to go number 1 overall over Aiden Hutchinson. What is this? Why is this? They're obviously not trying to lose money. They have to have some piece of information. What are you hearing? Is there about to be a big-time shakeup? Is Jacksonville potentially trading out? Is somebody looking to trade in and get Travon Walker? How do you see this all working out?
So I don't think Jacksonville is going to be able to trade out. I think they would like to. I think, to me, like from 1 to 5 or even 6, everybody would like to trade out because the picks are all kind of similar value. So if you get someone to give you like an extra 2 or an extra 3, like you might want to do that and get a somewhat similar player. I don't think anyone's going to do that. There's no quarterback to come up for. So I think the Jaguars are going to pick. Today, and it's tough for me to know why the odds changed so dramatically. This is not exactly my world, but Peter King wrote in his mock that could be something crazy, could be Travon Walker, which I would say, I'm not sure how crazy that is, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the pick also. I know they're down to 4. I know they're considering Hutchinson, they're considering Walker, but look at Trent Baalke's profile. Has some traits that Aldon Smith had as well. That kind of makes sense. So then he writes that, then everyone talks about it, and the odds changed a lot. Like, I thought that was a pretty interesting.
Peter King swung this thing?
Whoa.
Is that what you're saying? We'll ask
What's
John.
that?
We'll talk to John Sheeran, the head odds maker for FanDuel, in the 3rd hour. You're thinking maybe Peter
cool.
King swung this thing.
I was thinking maybe, yeah, because that makes sense. Like a big
Still got that
like right at the top of Monday, like that would make some sense.
He's got the big
we've talked about
stick.
Travon Walker going 1 before. Maybe the odds makers haven't been paying attention to the Pat McAfee show. You have to ask him in the 3rd hour, but just saying.
Hey, you say you've been talking about this for a long time. What are the final 4? Travon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Jordan Davis?
No, I think it is Ekwonu, Evan Neal, Hutchinson, and Travon Walker. I believe those are the 4. Those seem to be the 4 with the highest grades on most boards.
Okay, so Evan Neal came into the conversation. He wasn't in a couple people's top 10s last week, I don't think, and I was very surprised by that. You think that a lot of people have Icky ahead of Evan Neal in that particular department, and is that who a team who's looking at the offensive line is probably going to end up grabbing, or is everybody literally split on this? And how the hell does anybody know what anybody's going to do? Nobody has a clue what anybody's going to do at this point, right?
Right. I mean, that's what, so the draft is great, right? Because, at least for me, because what happens is my phone blows up like never before because everyone wants to know, what's the rumors, who's taking who? And reality is, I know some things, but I don't 100% know. Nobody really does. And you mentioned the tackle, so it's somewhat split on Ekwonu and Neal. I get the sense Ekwanu's maybe a small bit higher. Neal's body's a little banged up. It's nothing concerning, but just a little bit. He's an Alabama player. That can happen. He's got good position flexibility, but it seems like Ekwonu is a little more of maybe the higher ceiling. So maybe he goes earlier and Neal goes, probably within the top 6 is my guess.
All right, before the boys have some more draft questions or whatever their questions are, I have to ask you about Deebo Samuel once again. And
Took you long enough.
What you're hearing? Well, is he coming to the Colts or not? What's going on with the Colts and Deebo Samuel? And did you like the fact that Francis Martinelli came out and said, "Hey, listen, that's my nightclub. Hey, that's my nightclub." Deebo wasn't saying nah to the sign.
No.
He was saying nah to the entire thing coming to his area.
Obviously.
He actually, there was there's another sign that another one of my clients, who I would tell you exactly who it is, who I got photos of, he put up another one and said, don't worry, Debo, the Niners are going to pay you or whatever. And he said, ha, 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 cool. We were talking all night. We spoke about it. So
none of that sounds true, by the way.
You don't think
No.
Fred Martinelli's, you don't think?
Rap sheet.
I mean, look, he seems like a good source.
He said, this is my club.
His club.
It's Franco Martinelli.
He owns it.
I mean,
Frankie.
seems like a great place. I do appreciate the drink, the waitresses or whatever carrying around the stay Debo side. That was a nice touch. I don't know. I kind of felt like he was more like, hey, can you stop videotaping me while I'm just literally walking in a club? Perhaps that could have been it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What if it was from the owner? The owner videotaping you. All right, go ahead. Are you charging me for
Anyway,
these
so,
bottles or not? Because this is free now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what great advertisement for the club, by the way, and Franco Martinelli.
Hey, looks like a good time.
It does.
Looks like
It
a
does.
good time.
Place is bumping.
Having a good time out there, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely my kind of scene as well.
Oh, is there booze there? Yeah, it's Ian's kind of
Yep,
scene.
there you go.
Yep. So the 49ers have their press conference today, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they say, because I would be surprised at this point if they say we're not trading him. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, people walking in here. I don't want them to mess up, lock the door.
Did that guy drop the G? Yeah,
He
did. Is that guy all right?
You know?
Vegas can be tough. Tell him it's going to be all right.
Getting home.
That's at the city of sin. That guy ain't there, actually, but you can look for him. A lot of people looking for him. Tell that guy everything's going to be okay. Hey, everything's going to be all right.
Keep your head up.
Everything's going to be all right, dude. Jesus will find you, dude.
Sicily, I assume.
Was that Sicilian?
I think so.
With the 49ers, what's happening right now with the 49ers is they are seeing what's real and what's not real, right? Because I think if someone is going to trade for Deebo Samuel, it's going to happen before Thursday. We know the value. We've seen it twice. So Tyreek and Devonta Adams both got traded for around the value of the 13th pick in the draft. The Jets, when you put all the picks together, the Jets, when they made their offer for Tyreek, it was a little bit better than the 13th pick, so theoretically they'd be willing to offer a little more, but that's what the value is going to be. I think the 49ers would like to keep him, but at some point, if a guy doesn't want to be there, and you'd have to pay him, and you're not sure how it's like, if you pay him, is he still even going to be happy? Like, they're going to have to turn something real down, and we'll see by Thursday if they do it.
Oh, so Debo's getting traded. Okay,
Wow.
go ahead, Ty. That's what it sounded. By the way, a lot of people said that you don't know anything. That's what this happens to you all the time on
to
the
be
West
fair,
Coast.
a lot of people say a lot of things.
Well, that's the whole purpose of speaking, I think, right?
So I hear.
I see. He heard it. Someone said it.
Because people
People talk.
say stuff. Are you full of shit though? Who are the people you talk to over there? And do you feel comfortable about every team you speak about that you have a connection there, or do you listen to what other people around the league are saying about a particular place whenever you go about making your? Because for instance, when you talk about the
that's a good
Seahawks,
question.
when you talk about the Seahawks, the Seahawks fan.
yeah.
I have never seen a more hey, they do not love Ian Rappaport.
Right.
Okay, they
How
do
is
not,
this possible?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know, but I had to mute a couple words in my notifications, and they were all coming to you. I was like, I don't need this negativity because Ian's saying this thing. You're not the only guest that this has happened, by the way. I was on the Danish political news,
Sure.
and they were calling me a terrible person because another guest that we had talked about his immunized status or whatever. So don't worry, this happens all the time.
I read about that.
Yeah, probably what people were saying. But anyways, the Niners people, though, they really, whenever you broke the news about Debo and the alleged video, obviously, that's been taken down over the internet now, a situation, they say Ian doesn't know shit about anything. When you speak about a team, we all assume, I think, because you are an insider, that you're coming from a place of information that you're privy to that we are not. Is that an accurate depiction of you, or are you just bullshitting out there all the time?
So for me to say something to you guys or to say on NFL Network, it has to be something. It can't be like my guess. So if you ever hear me say I think, it probably means I misspoke, because I almost never talk like that unless you pin me down and I sort of have to say something, which happens from time to time. It has to be real, and it has to be something that represents what is actually going on. So I'm sure that for 49ers fans, they probably didn't like the fact that Deebo Samuel did not want the team to make an offer because he didn't want to be there. But that is the reality of the situation.
You think?
And what's that?
You think?
I know.
Oh,
Hey,
see?
not bad.
See, that is
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. Because that is every time you talk, like an insider speaks, and this is I think what everybody, in the sports world gets so upset whenever Schefter says things. You guys almost become just like robots of information, if that makes sense. Your Twitter accounts and your social media accounts are basically just this is what's going on from the NFL. So whenever you do punditry and give opinions, I think people's natural reaction is, this fucker doesn't know anything or whatever. But every other time we act as if everything you say is gospel. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure you get pretty upset about it as well, as you have to explain yourself.
Well, no, actually, I like obviously I like coming on the show for a variety of reasons. But one of them is you ask real, in-depth pressing questions about the stuff I report. And so what it does is it forces me to explain, here's what I said, here's why, here's kind of where I got it from, here's what it means. And it leaves people with the complete picture that you don't always get from a tweet, right? To tweet something let's say today was Baker Mayfield's Baker Mayfield's not getting traded before the draft. Wow, you had that up quick. Baker Mayfield's not getting traded before the draft. There's a lot of phone calls that went into that, a lot of conversations, a lot of different angles to it. I like getting time to explain it, but I would also say that generally, everyone does it differently. Generally, I don't give my opinion on things. If I'm going to give nuance and explain, it's going to be based on what I know, not what I think, because honestly, my opinion doesn't really matter that much. That's kind of not why I do any of this.
Well, I'm happy that you have enough self-awareness to realize that, because a lot of people get a platform for something and then they forget about it and they're like, oh yeah, also by the way, I'm the smartest in this field as well, and then they dive into it. I think your self-awareness is what makes us like you so much, but you diving into what you're saying is huge, because you're getting access that the rest of us aren't. You have access that us guys that have to talk about this every single day, you are vital to the entire sports media world. So the more information we can get, the better, pal. I hope you know that.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that. And I like talking about this stuff. It's people always say let's say random dude comes up to me in Vegas oh, I know you don't want to talk about your job, but what do you think about the Giants? I kind of like talking about my job. I like all this stuff. It's great. It never feels real. It's fun. So I like talking to you guys about this stuff, honestly. And that's why the draft is great, because we'll cover it on Thursday. It's fun. It is an endless string of conversations for the last 2 weeks of everyone just talking about every prospect. It's awesome.
Okay, so let's talk about that Baker situation real quick. There are a lot of phone calls that went into it and everything. Is Carolina doing this because they still want 6 to be valuable and make people think that they might take a quarterback if there's a quarterback there? Or is it because they're waiting to see if a quarterback is available and somebody else doesn't trade up ahead of them and steal their guy? They have a guy, they don't have a guy. Do they think Baker's still in play? What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
I think that
I knew you said it all the fucking time.
Yeah. I don't think
because when you said I try not to say I think, in my head I was
definitely heard him.
I was running through the amount of times I've heard you say I think, and I'm like,
okay, but I try not to say it. Look, I try not to curse also, but sometimes that happens.
Well, you're a very good person. You're a better person than us.
Well, that's probably true. No, so here's my sense of where Carolina is. They're considering a quarterback at 6. I don't know if they're going to take one, but they're considering one. Also a possibility, Scott Fitterer loves to trade back, just like John Schneider, his old mentor in Seattle, loves to trade back. Maybe they don't like a quarterback at 6. Maybe they like a quarterback at 16 or something like that. And then, so they don't take one at 6, so they take one in the first round. Now they don't need Baker. I think they need to see this play out, see if they come out of it with a quarterback, and see where they are before addressing the situation on Friday. If they end up with a quarterback and don't trade for Baker, this is going a long way. We're going to be talking about Baker Mayfield in July, which would be enough to make all of our heads explode, but also still interesting. And every time a quarterback gets injured, it's going to be is that team going to trade for Baker?
Oh, that's who Baker's going to become if something doesn't happen by draft.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, he'll be the guy we all, and there's, it's not a great place to be, but, it's Baker and Garoppolo. It's every single time a quarterback gets hurt, it's who's trading for one of these guys?
Baker owed $18.5 million guaranteed, right?
Yep.
Jimmy owed $22 million.
22, but not guaranteed. Big difference.
What's guaranteed?
I think I'm not sure any. I don't know. If
Jimmy's in a
not much.
terrible spot.
Yeah.
Jimmy, come on, Jimmy.
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 I believe 1.4.
There you go. Yeah, that's not enough to make a difference, and that's not great because
Jimmy.
let's just play this forward. Let's say the 49ers want to keep him and say, all right, you're competing with Trey Lance. Let's just say. Well, then what if they want to cut his salary, which would be not that cool, but crazier things happen. Maybe they need the space for a Bosa extension or something. He doesn't have great leverage because he doesn't have anything guaranteed. That's tough.
Jimmy.
So the shoulder surgery happening going into his final year of his lame duck contract, basically. He's in his lame duck year, basically, of his contract that all sides assumed would be renegotiated if it all worked out well. And then they get into that year and it's like, well, it has worked out, but also could it work out better? It could. That's kind of an anomaly of a situation, I feel like, Jimmy and San Fran. They win whenever he plays. When he doesn't, they don't. And it's still like, meh. I guess it's kind of Baker Mayfield like in Cleveland, but much better, I guess, a higher degree.
Right, and also they traded a ton of picks. It's not like they just took a quarterback who happens to be good. They traded a boatload of picks to replace him, and then he led them deep into the playoffs. Like, it really is, like, there's not a lot of situations like this. And then the surgery basically meant he couldn't get traded for a very long time, so he's just sitting there.
When does this stuff become guaranteed? Is it all incentive based or is it date based?
It's neither. It's just paper money until they pay him on week one. So.
So it is date based then. Week one, it becomes fully guaranteed.
Yes.
If he's on the roster.
That's right.
If he's on the roster.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So week one is when Jimmy money, $22 million guaranteed. Right now, 1.75.
Okay.
Yeah, so his base salary for the year is 24.2. He's a 1.4 signing bonus, which I believe is the guaranteed amount, and then like a $750,000 roster and a $600,000 workout bonus.
All right, so he's at those OTs.
Mm-hmm.
He's at those OTs.
That's
The $600,000 OT.
I'd have to see about that because he's not there now because he's working out on his own. So maybe they have some agreement about the workout bonus, but he's not there.
I need a Subway commercial.
600,000.
What's Subway commercial worth? 600,000. Am I Nona? All right.
Okay, perfect.
She's going to say she doesn't cook, though. Oh, I'm not going to workouts. Yeah, say it. All right, go ahead, Ty.
Rap Sheet, when you first mentioned that Debo could potentially end up with the Packers, I think a lot of people thought that was bullshit just because the Packers don't do that kind of stuff and how much they value their picks. But what is the actual likelihood that a team like the Packers could get him? Like
Colts.
Or Colts, like when these other guys left, it kind of just popped up right away, and then they were gone. Like, will we know the teams who you mentioned? Like, is another team going to potentially pop in and steal him, or is it probably down to like these handful of teams we already know?
That's basically what I've been doing the last couple of days, just trying to figure out like who's going to be in the mix that I don't know about. I feel pretty confident in those teams that I mentioned, and for the Packers, like. Yes, they do value their picks. The Davante Adams situation was special, though, because he wanted to be somewhere else. And so, like, usually they wouldn't have done that. He wanted to be somewhere else. They traded him for a lot of picks, so it's almost like they have free picks now, right? And, like, at some point, the value of the player is greater than the picks, even though you have to pay him, which they were willing to do for Davante Adams also, like, they wanted to. So, to me, like, I don't know if the Packers are going to do it, but I would expect them to explore and be in the mix. And they should because, like, and I don't know, maybe you could ask your guest on Thursday night who got you in trouble with the Danish news station.
Spectacular.
Would he really like a dynamic receiver who can change the game and is really young? Like, he might.
Maybe.
I assume every quarterback would. The whole thought of Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Debo Samuel still being available. Julio Jones still available. What's the money for all? Like Debo, obviously, they're going to have to pay. Whoever trades him is going to have to get paid. Yeah. But for those other free agent wide receivers, big names, is the money still going to be big for them? Because I feel like Jarvis should get paid. Yeah. Like, I think he should get paid for his duties. I feel like Odell Beckham, if he's healthy and back playing, which is what he would be to sign a deal, I feel like he's worth money as well, just like we saw him with the Rams get paid a lot more than everybody thought he was going to get there. How is that going to play out, you think? And is that the players choosing this or the teams choosing this?
Well, we'll start with Julio. So I don't think he's going to break the bank, and I don't think he's looking to. I think he's more looking to be like the final piece of a really good team, come in, sort of reestablish himself, and then see what happens after this year, but hopefully be like the last really good piece to a really good team. So generally those contracts are not that expensive, right?
Welcome, Julio. Come on, Julio. Welcome to the Colts. All right, go ahead. Go on now. Jarvis Odell.
So I would say for Landry, based on his age, I would say looking more in the 8 to 10 range, which, for a player on his third contract is really nice. That's probably around what the Browns might have given him had he stayed. And he's stayed in contact with the Browns, so maybe after the draft, that is something they end up revisiting. We'll see. The Odell contract, I can honestly say I have no idea because he's not going to play the first half of the season. But when he was playing for the Rams, he was great. That was as good as we've seen him in a long time. So maybe he does a multi-year deal with an option to get out, or maybe it's a small number this year because he'll play out the season, and a big number, over $10 million in 2023. Like, that is a complex contract that I'm not sure how they're going to figure out.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rapshi, do you think that because the first 6 picks might be traded, there's a position group that's kind of rising through draft boards, like corner or wide receiver? And also, do you think it's easier to do your job in Vegas because everyone's boozing, not just you?
First of all, last night I went to a great place. I had a drink.
What?
Shout out Sapphire.
And my good friend Tom Pelissero was there. First thing he does, spill his drink all over the table. Jesus. They come back with another drink.
Malfunctioned.
And it is in a sippy cup, like they give to the kids.
Oh yes, he got buried.
Great moment. Great moment for old Pelissero there.
Man, that's awesome.
I enjoyed that. Anyway, it is weird walking around in Vegas knowing that, like, I'm working, I'm on the phone, I'm, like, doing these things, and everyone else is here to do exactly the opposite, and they all look like they're dressed nice and get ready to go gamble, which I'm not going to do, and, like, it's very weird to be here. The position group thing is interesting.
I bet.
What?
Yeah, this guy.
Sure, Rapshi.
Which I'm not going to do.
Yeah. I'm not allowed.
By the way, the bottom of the Cosmo, there is a war table. War, the classic card game.
Yes.
It's very gettable.
Oh, you're saying it's got a nice dealer down there.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Hey,
Write
New
that
York,
down
New
for
York.
another trip.
New York has something called the Party Pit, blackjack area.
Ooh.
Might be the best place in town. Aside from pool parties during the day, that Party Pit is a great spot to hang out at. Now, granted, last time I was there was 10 years ago or whatever, but
Still goes.
still probably, if something that good hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You're just going to keep your blinders on, lock yourself in that room with the guy screaming Jesus Christ when he opens the door? What does it look like? Are you guys live this entire time? Will you be doing more research? When's rehearsal?
We're live in 16 minutes talking about all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll be on, kind of regular time, but ramp up a lot on Thursday night. Go wall to wall from Thursday to Saturday, and then take the red eye home and resume my regular life.
And get the Pez dispensers open and just go ahead and do post-draft. Last question here for you. We apologize for taking up all your time. Good warm-up for you. Out Now Brown Cow, Unique, New York. Are you doing all those things before you go live on TV? Any mental reps?
I do have a little voice thing that I do beforehand, and it is very embarrassing. And when people are around, I do not do it because it's.
Is it this? That's what McConaughey said he does, right? Who's that? He goes high to open up that. Yep. Is that what you do?
Wait, what was that in? What movie was that in?
Jesus Christ. What for Wall right there? Come on.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Your
favorite movie.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, absolutely. What is your voice that you sing a little bit? Did you do it in that room? Did you do it in the bathroom? When do you do it?
Sometimes I do it in the shower because it's, there's only me in there and no one can make fun of how stupid it looks.
Where'd you learn this? Somebody had to teach us to you, or you?
We had a voice coach in here to come help us sound like.
Wow. Okay, teach us now.
TV.
Hey, look at your guys' future, by the way. Can't wait to get a voice coach in here.
Voice coach?
Yeah, we're gonna get voice coach down here.
Yeah.
I got a great guy. I can recommend. Arthur Joseph is his name. He's He would whip you guys into shape.
The only way we would accept him is if we knew what his warm-up was and if we liked his warm-up. Can you tell us what his warm-up is?
No, I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
Dude.
See, I don't want to be a part of anything that's too embarrassing to do in public.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm in public all the time.
Seriously.
Love the public.
Got to warm up a lot.
Thank you, public.
Thank you, public. Is it like a how? Like, what do you? Is it a how?
It involves like putting your hand on a certain place in your mouth and like talking, but you can't understand what you're saying, so it sounds like you're just like making these. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
Do it.
Oh man,
I'm not gonna
it's
do it.
really working
No,
though. Maybe
I would do a lot of things for you guys, but this is actually too embarrassing.
you might be spreading a piece of information that maybe makes a kid's career.
That's right.
There's this one guy trying to get a job somewhere in a news station, but his damn voice just keeps giving out at the wrong time.
That's right.
If he had the proper fundamentals on how to warm up that vocal box, he'd go in there, get a job, probably not be homeless anymore. He was homeless, wasn't he, Ty?
He was homeless.
He was completely homeless, living in the streets. It was in the middle of winter, too. We seen him, no clothes.
freezing.
Didn't have gloves.
But if
didn't have any shoes.
Eating his own poop.
He's still doing that to this day, I think.
Yeah.
But he says he watches every single day, and if he could get a fucking good vocal box warm up, maybe he'd get a job. He don't have to eat his poop anymore. You hear about that guy?
I
man?
did hear about
What a
that
story
guy.
that would be. American
Yeah.
Dream.
Be
type
incredible.
story. Ian Rappaport
Yeah.
saved the guy's life.
Go save him,
Saved
Ian.
somebody's life. Save a life.
Come on. What'd he
Save
say?
a life.
One time.
I will not save a life. I'll save a
fuck
tree.
that guy, Ian.
Son of a
Come on.
bitch.
All right.
Ian hates homeless people.
That's unbelievable. Go ahead, Diggs, last question.
Ian, this time of year,
Jeez.
does like DJ and Bucky Brooks get added to the group chat with you and Pelissaro and Garofolo? Like, do you trust their information more than yours this time of year? Or are you like, nah, my sources are better than yours? You don't know shit about the draft, DJ.
Ooh.
I've talked to DJ at least once a day for like the last week. I trust him with everything. The best thing about DJ is that when you get to this time in the draft, his friends stop talking to him because you don't know what you could say that could lean thing one way or another. And like, then he's got his mock, so he's trying to figure out like which way to go. And like, he is a great resource. I went back and listened to the Move the Sticks podcast over the course of the last several days. It is a wealth of information. And he also doesn't drink and curse, so he's a lot better than all of us.
That makes me wonder.
Doesn't his
I'm not judging him. Not judging him.
Can you trust the guy?
I'm not judging him.
But his kid does his mock draft, just to be clear.
One
That's
of them early. he
Yeah.
said.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the last one.
Not the game time.
Not the
No,
game.
last
game
one's the
time.
big one. That's the one that everyone
on.
judges you on. You want to see how many you get right.
It was early draft season one.
Making sure.
Gotcha.
He's never drank or cursed.
I mean, I don't know, never, but he does not do that.
Wow, that's impressive.
Good guy.
That's good discipline. All right.
He
well,
also listens to Tevin Campbell
Tevin Campbell.
when he plays music or when he does Great's tape.
Oh,
Pretty fun.
Tevin Campbell's got bangers, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The beats,
Good
too.
stuff.
Yeah, Tevin Campbell can really get in your soul if you need to.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we try to do whenever we chat with Ian Rappaport, you know? Good luck on television. Welcome to
right.
Vegas. Hope you have a good time out there. We appreciate the hell out of you and all the information that you give us on a weekly basis. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Thank you.
He'll be on NFL Network in 11 minutes talking about all the things we just talked about. Good warm-up for him.
Yeah.
What is that warm-up?
No, it sounded weird.
He's shoving his hand down his face.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
puts
he-
3 fingies in his mouth, starts singing a song, probably like the ABCs or Happy Birthday. I think that's
no
just
idea.
that's
You
just
have
what I
Seems
no.
like
That's
it.
from what he
Diggs,
described.
Isn't this? We were chatting about this
Oh, yeah,
before
we
the show.
were chatting about this before
This
the show.
generation has a certainty.
They could have 0% knowledge on something, but they will speak as if they are 100% positive on it.
The certainty confidence is they are speaking in
Do
absolute.
not say it's our generation.
Absolute.
Yeah, you're
He
saying
does it all the time.
You're saying this generation, Mitt's out there saying he knew Mac Jones should have been the number 2 pick last
Well, this,
year. so-
this was actually Mitt's fault because he said
Thank
something
you.
else with complete certainty that was completely
Yes.
wrong.
Oh yeah, it was about Ben Simmons, who we are going to talk about in the next time.
Oh, this guy.
Okay,
This fucking guy.
listen, Ben Simmons I'm so confused.
Uh-huh.
I am so confused
You're
by
not
it
the
all.
only one.
Yeah.
Because what's going on? Kevin Durant has to fucking hate this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Nash says, you know, like he was not surprised that he did not come back by today. And I think that's because Steve Nash knows Ben Simmons better than anybody else that's been reporting about Ben Simmons. And Steve Nash, who played in the NBA for 18 years, is a dog. It's like, ain't no way this fucking guy's playing.
Played through injury all the time, too. Steve Nash did.
There ain't no way this guy's playing by Monday. What are your thoughts on reports that Ben Simmons is eyeing Game 4 for return? Steve, I did not hear that. No. And in the back of Steve's mind, Steve's like, Y'all motherfuckers have no idea. This dude ain't fucking playing.
No.
Man. Because the most recent. Now listen, herniated disc happened. All right, he's going through mental health stuff because of whatever happened in Philly. None of us know what the fuck's going on between anybody's ears, and I think we're in a stage now, in an era now, where it would just be because you never know what the fuck's going to happen with Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
If you're to attack him for some mental health thing, you'd be a real asshole, especially because we're in the world of learning about how people feel more than we ever have in the past. So I didn't know what to judge of that entire thing because it seemed interesting, but also this guy hasn't played in a long time. They're saying he can play. Then he has a full go, and then he comes in the next day and his back is sore. It's like, okay, either they're not putting out how sore his back was, or me watching him dress completely differently than the rest of his team, trying to stick out, not labor at all, look like he's in any pain in any fashion at all publicly, and then his back sore. Hey, you're a professional athlete, your fucking body's going to be sore.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the natural reaction from everybody. There has to be more to this. That can't be the only case, because if it is, this dude might be the softest dude ever.
Yeah.
Like ever. And I don't understand how that happens with somebody who's so damn athletic. Yeah. And it seems like everybody has the same view on this entire thing. Reggie Miller, who's like OG of the game, still covers the game. He says, come on, man, out for game 4 when it was rumored you were going to make your debut. This dude has zero competitive fire. As small a chance as the Nets have to come back in this series, you still have KD and Kyrie. All you need is to win one game and take it from there. Hashtag man up. And Reggie Miller speaking up in the exact fashion that everybody else is. Like, hey, this is a must-win fucking game. Your back sore? You don't think Kyrie's knees and elbows or Kevin Durant's knees and ankles and hips.
Kyrie's not even eating or drinking during the day.
Yeah, but everything's sore. Yeah, Ramadan's happening. That's a whole nother fashion. And somebody sent me a message saying they suffer so they can experience what it's like to have nothing or something like that. It helps. Perspective on that entire thing. Whatever. I don't know if anybody who has nothing is playing in the NBA Finals, but I can understand the testament. Whatever helps everybody live their best life. Okay, sounds good. But everybody's fucking sore, dude. Like that's what happens. So that's why when it's reported that his back is sore, as opposed to like herniated disc still bulged or still broken or something torn or this happening, a sore back, I think a lot of people, because of what has happened in the history of athletics as a whole, not just basketball or football or hockey or any other professional soccer even, like people play through this type of shit, especially in must-win games when you're making like $40 million. He might be the biggest heel on earth right now. Everybody has the same opinion. Like, yo, this dude fucking stinks. That's literally what everybody thinks right now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is calling him a bitch-made cat, and he might be. I mean, there's really no, because like you said, he's making all that money, and not to go like the Reggie Miller and guys in those days, but like those guys used to be getting their heads fucking taken off, and they'd play in the next game. Like you don't question that he's sore. His back's fucked up. Like he's getting back into playing shape. Like of course he's gonna be sore. It just makes.
Hey, that first week you start working out again. By the way, your whole body is sore.
Yeah,
you're dying.
And a lot of people quit working out because of it.
Yes,
like that is actually what happens. Like people work. What's your New Year's resolution? Okay. I'm going to get in shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one me. I only have one life. I'm going to take care of my body like I ain't never taken care of my body. Next year is going to be the year of the best me.
Hell yeah.
Fit me. Fit fam. We're all going to do it. And then everybody does it. In the first week, they get really sore. And everybody's like, well, I'm not going to do that ever again.
Right.
And then by like week 5 or something like that, 85-90% of the people are already back to living their old lives, but with a new perspective of like, well, we're not going to do that again. And then by December, you already forget about it. We're doing it this year.
Yep.
But you got to power through that soreness, I think, is like what everybody who ends up incredibly fit does. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm only telling you about the people that I talk to that live that fit life all the time. I don't know how anybody does it. So the soreness is naturally going to come in exercise. The soreness is naturally going to come anytime you do something physically tasking, which basketball in the NBA would be. So soreness is never going away, which is why everybody's saying, hey, what the fuck is... People are calling it the biggest heist in the history of the NBA, Connor.
It might be. And like the big thing with Simmons is like he comes in the NBA, he's rookie of the year, he's unbelievable. And then he doesn't ever get better. Like he hasn't been able to shoot his entire career. And then you look at a guy like Joel Embiid who sits out his first year, sure, and just works on everything. But when he came into the NBA, he couldn't shoot outside the paint. Now he's shooting fadeaway threes to win games. Like Simmons, if he really wanted to be great, probably, and I think the ship has probably already sailed on that. Like when he first came in, that first offseason, maybe instead of playing, Call of Duty and
he was a good Call of Duty player.
Great Call of Duty player. Hey, he can shoot with the best of them in the game.
He's on FaZe Clan?
I thought he was phased up.
Really?
I think, him. I think Bronny is also phased up. I think that is kind of the athlete team. Bronny's a dog.
Bronny's a dog.
Yeah, but Simmons, because of the fact that he hasn't worked on his game and gotten exponentially better, the dude still can't shoot a mid-range jump shot.
He's face Simo.
He just hates basketball. What'd you say?
His call name or call sign?
Fucking gamer tag, dude.
Gamer tag is Phase Simo.
Call sign.
Yeah. Makes sense though.
Call sign Phase Simo.
Same
Sorry, I got Top Gun 2 on the brain at all times. So call sign is just in my brain.
Phase Simo?
Phase Simo, SIMMO.
Bro, Simo goes though.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean?
And that's the other thing. He might be looking forward to the phase
retirement
season. No, the phase season. He's got another season coming up.
What
here.
if he just hates basketball?
How
come we haven't even talked about that?
Good.
Hey, what if he, mate? Because he's from Australia.
Right.
Sure.
He paid me a bunch of money, mate. I don't like sport. How they fucking gaming, man? What do you?
Yeah. What do
You
you want from
fucking
me?
want from me?
What do you want from me?
I fucking hate basketball.
What do you want me to do?
Get off
dude?
my fucking back. It hurts already.
What? There has to be a reason. He has to have a side. There has to be some reasoning from his side that it. I would assume he talks to at least one other person in his life that has said, yeah, gas him up.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Somebody had to say, that's right. Because right now it feels like not a single human. And although maybe Steve Nash, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant, his teammates are, because how much they have to be as teammates, they have to. They literally have to. I wonder if there's anybody telling them, hey, you should explain yourself maybe to people a little bit more because everybody seems to hate you right now.
Yeah.
And that can't be fun at all for anybody, no matter how bad you stink at basketball or how big of a heist you're doing in the NBA. He has to have some sort of reasoning, right? There can't just be the fact that he's just, no, I don't like sport. I don't want to get better. Fuck everybody. And also, I don't want to ever be sore. You ever feel life whenever you're sore? It's not fun. That's how fucking life is as a professional athlete. There's no way that's how it is.
Yeah, but instead of doing that, he's yelling to reporters hey, get this on tape, and he's jumping up and dunking instead of being
Basic dunks, though.
basic dunks.
That's why I think it makes sense that he's gone full heel. I don't dispute that he had mental health issues, but like you said, when you show up and you stick out like a sore thumb like that, and everyone's talking about
orange,
hey, this guy should be playing. People are going to shit on you, and people are going to really give it to you, especially when you're making the money that he is. So, maybe he has just embraced it. He's fuck it, I hate everybody. Who
I'm
cares?
excited to hear what his thoughts are. We'll be back in about 4 minutes with Hour 2 on this glorious Monday, April 25th. Draft Spectacular 3 days away.
Yes!
That's exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm pumped for it. AJ Hawk will join us in about 4 minutes, as will Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
He'll join us at about 1:15 Eastern Standard Time, so throughout your clocks, you know the deal. He was drafted as a quarterback out of San Diego State University to the New England Patriots.
Wow.
I did not know that. We learned a lot. Now, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, formerly of the Rams and other places. Can't wait to chat with him. Also, AJ, about all the things happening in this world. We'll see you in 3. Surprise, obviously. That's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. Do you want to have fun?
That's nice
You
of
want
you.
to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Whoa.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I actually just
No, you
explained
didn't.
it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this. I
I did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me.
You
Can I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it. No,
did.
you
You
didn't. You're a
Jason.
bad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think his microphone's still on. Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on this glorious Monday, April 25th, 2022. This sports show recontinues right now.
Yeah.
I tried to do journalism voice right there.
Pretty good.
I thought about doing it a couple different times on a couple different jobs, like on Get Up one morning, just going full bit, just going straight into. And if you do recall when Tom played against the blah, blah, blah for the full show.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Oh,
been sweet.
my God.
Next time.
What if we did that, just middle of July?
Just middle of July, super.
We did it very
Debo
hard.
Samuel, rumors are flying. We just spoke with Ian Rappaport of NFL Network and NFL.com. He basically said Debo's getting traded from the 49ers. How did he go about saying that, you asked? Did he say it openly? No, he actually just listed off like 10 reasons why it would make sense for the 49ers to listen to somebody make a trade offer. And then at the end of the conversation with Ian Rappaport, the Jimmy G conversation and contract conversation went in one particular direction and not another. I will send it over to correspondent Connor with more on that development.
Well, the Jimmy situation is very interesting just because he is a good player and he can play and he's led their team. But the thing about Jimmy is, Pat, he can get hurt. And although the Niners are one of the better franchises in the NFL, personally, I love Shanahan. I love John Lynch. However, I don't know if Jimmy has the longevity that the Niners are looking for currently.
I sent that over to the wrong report because I thought the report that we were getting, although that one was accurate, is Ian said if you have to renegotiate Jimmy G's contract, you would have to negotiate Jimmy G's contract to free up money for Bosa or something, he said.
Ah, yes, of course. I remember that naturally. Rap Sheet said specifically that if he was going to be staying with the Niners, I can't do it.
You told us that literally right before we went on air. That was literally your brain that said that. So I was trying to get us directly to what you just pointed out.
Yeah, I was too focused on speaking like a robot. But yeah, Rap Sheet said that if Jimmy were to stay with the Niners, there's a possibility that he would restructure his contract to extend Bosa. But he didn't say that he would restructure his contract to pay Debo Samuel. So it clearly
he's not stating it as a matter of fact, but he's just thinking in his mind what would have to happen. And he's naturally, because of all the connections he has. Now, we don't know anything about anything, and everything can change literally daily. The only thing that doesn't change, the Toxic Table is fantastic at Boston Connor. Great reporting there.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm ready for the 20 minutes of robots whenever we do it in July.
Okay, maybe not, though. I mean, that was pretty difficult. Almost had success. I mean, we almost went right through
it. Hurt my brain.
Yeah. hurt mine too whenever you started going.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. And then you gave a very accurate depiction of the Niners as a whole.
It was great, yeah.
But it was not where. Did you think we were potentially going to him talking about?
Yeah, for sure. That's why when he started, I was like, oh, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah, this guy has no idea what's going on. Yeah,
No clue.
All right, good. I'm happy I didn't fuck that up. Anyways, Tone Diggs is here, joining us live from Manhattan, Ohio. I don't know if he saw the Ian Rappaport interview or not, conversation or not. That's why we tried to update him. I can't wait to get this man's thoughts, not only on this, but also Ben Simmons as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, dad of 10, AJ Haw. What's up, dude?
I was unable to see Ian's interview, but I feel like I just watched it, honestly, seeing Connor go back and forth with you.
Yeah, and that one was really for us. That one was really for us because as the intro song video is playing, we are literally normally still chatting off air about what we should maybe dive into or what we hadn't dove into. As that thing was 3, 2, and on 1, Connor was finishing his sentence about Ian clearly leaving Debo's contract out. I was like, oh, that's a fucking great point in my head.
Yeah.
As I'm going, welcome back to hour 2. I'm like, oh, that's a fucking great point.
Incredible
by Connor.
observation.
Okay, how do we get to that as quick as possible? Because when we're talking to these insiders, they're speaking from a place of more information than us. So their natural opinions, I think, are going to be shaped and formed differently. And although we know everything can change, it feels like, what if Debo's on the move, AJ? What if this ends up being an actual thing? That would be wild to me.
I mean, it seems like it very well could be right now. It's just how bad do the Niners want him? Or I guess how pissed off is Debo? I don't know. Has anything happened? Have we heard any more news out of there where something happened or this is why Debo is doing this other than what we knew last week?
The only thing we heard was Ian Rappaport list off like 5, 6, maybe, and I'm exaggerating on 5, 6, maybe 3 different reasons. He's owed a lot of money. He doesn't want to be there. And they could get something big for him or something like that. He listed off as reasons for why they might listen to a call from somebody that wants in on Debo Samuel. That was in response to Connor asking about which teams, or no, Ty asking about which teams would be in play because the Packers are one of the teams that were in play, as were the Giants and anybody else that had 2 1s basically this year. So that's what, and then he started listing off reasons why the Niners would listen to a call if somebody did want to give them 2 number 1s in the top 10, which is like the New York Giants or something like that. Jets as well, not if they wanted to. That sounded interesting to me because unless Ian's just thinking for them, or if Ian's talking to people that aren't at the Niners at another team, you're like, well, you got to think. He doesn't want to be there. They could get 2 in the 10 and they have no picks. Like, it just feels like when Ian says something like that, we should think about it a little bit more. So that's the only news, though, by the way. And this could all fucking change tomorrow, and that's day-to-day sports. It's fucking great.
Oh, yeah. It's draft week. Everything will change. Everything's going to change hour to hour. But don't you think any team in the NFL is going to listen if someone's going to say, hey, we may offer you 2 1s in the top 10, like 2 picks in the top 10? It's a pretty good pull you can get.
Or, yeah, definitely, especially in this draft.
Oh, no.
You gotta be shitting me.
I saw Bill Gates trending.
Why is our fire alarm going off? Because Bill Gates is trending.
I don't know.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Why?
What's Connor been doing?
Congratulations. Way to go. You got Bill Gates.
Check it off the list.
Who's next?
But honestly, who might be in a fire over here, and you got Bill Gates jokes on deck.
Come on.
Way to go, dude.
Mitt has it. Mitt's got it under control back there.
It did turn off relatively quickly.
Well, he might have started the fire.
We didn't start the fire. It was always burning. The world was turning. It's still going. Still going now. Listen, we didn't start it, but we didn't stop it either, did we? No, we did not. It was always burning. The world was turning. It is very annoying.
It's very loud.
The worst.
Tough to do a show with that going on.
It's like the
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome's on its way.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if there's ever a fire in the Thunderdome, it'll get put out right away.
First
Has
of all,
that ever gone off before?
This?
Yeah,
dude, we got people drilling into everything.
Yeah.
There's a monsoon happening outside. I assume there's somebody in the near area. It's like perfect day for construction. It's above 50 degrees, and they're into something.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I will say, boys, we all should have a lot more urgency. Okay, when an alarm goes off and maybe there's a fire. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, not a one of us even thought about potentially burning to death right there.
No.
We should think about that. There's a lot of flammable things around here.
Yeah?
Let's think about
If
that.
that was going to happen, though, I would just put my head down and run straight into that concrete wall and just break my neck instead of burning in flames. You know what I mean?
Smart.
All right.
I mean,
Maybe fall.
those flames going to jump on you pretty quick if all of a sudden you hear that alarm and boom,
Well,
you're dead.
I won't feel it.
There is so much goddamn lacquer on
Right
that
here.
stage. that-
I'm dancing on flames here.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys might want to get out. You might want to just evacuate right now then.
Well, Zito said there's no immediate danger. He just came in my
Thanks.
ear. That was how Zito explained it.
Okay. Thank God.
No immediate danger, which
Well,
is thanks
during-
for taking a look. See,
During
later.
Hanukkah, when we had the candles up there, we had the
fire extinguisher.
yeah, we had the fire extinguisher in here, so we have taken precautions.
Fire extinguisher, by the way, it takes out all the oxygen in the air.
Yeah.
So that's like a part of it, right? Because flames operate off of oxygen.
Feed on it.
So, like when somebody sprays a fire extinguisher like in your face, it takes all the air out as well. So not only are you getting hit, but there's actually no air. So there was a chance a fire extinguisher was going to happen in a match. They say, hey, listen, there's a fire extinguisher underneath the cage or underneath the ring. It could happen. And I said, okay, what am I doing there? What's going on? And they said, take a very deep breath beforehand. And I said, okay. So I did that, I guess, because you can't breathe. I guess it takes out all the air.
That's
so,
crazy. I did not know
Yeah, a
that.
little fun fact there. Here it is.
Just in case.
Just in
Yep.
case. Smart.
Smart.
Smart. No, I
Or
mean,
just you don't want to get that stuff in your mouth either, I would assume.
yeah,
Thought it was just cold air.
unless it's on fire.
Yeah, because you ever watch like a bank robbery movie or something like that, and they have to have the air tanks in case all the air gets sucked out of the room while they're doing the robbery.
In the safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Hey, the best style of bank robbery, in my style, or in my opinion, you got to make a false wall. You got to live behind it for a week.
Sure.
Yeah.
Protein
Nice.
bars.
It is by far the most brilliant one.
Oh, yeah.
Put masks on everybody in onesies. Everybody's called the same name. Everybody speaks the exact same. And then just build a fake wall and live behind it.
Genius.
Easy enough.
Smartest of all time. You think Spike Lee said, all right, I know exactly how I would rob a motherfucking bank if I had to. But instead of doing it, I'm just going to make a movie about it and make more money than the bank robber.
Yeah.
What a brilliant,
That is smart.
brilliant thing. That was awesome.
And they were taking all the money from a dude who made his money from like the Holocaust, right? Or the whole Nazi movement.
Oh, yeah. Because that's how that lady who got eaten by the cannibal.
Sure.
Jodie Foster.
There it is.
Walt Disney.
Yeah, somebody saw it through something. That's what caused the
You don't say.
Caused
Clipped the wire.
Yeah.
That happens.
That never happens here.
That person would never be able to rob a bank either.
I got a lot of respect for all the hardworking people that have to do the jobs outside. A lot of respect for it, you know?
Like play Operation once, you know,
Well,
to find out you can do it.
The people that be dancing around this particular building, it seems like have zero touch or finesse and have no idea what they're doing. I'm not sure if they're all new, and we appreciate them getting out there and working, but also, I mean, this has to be the least efficient operation going on around here.
Yeah, I mean, you hear people like hitting a gas line every once in a while and having it be like a big deal. Like, I mean, people are fucking plowing through gas lines every other week around here. It's insane. I don't know, drilling for oil next door.
It's going to be a good part of the city, though, AJ. Hey, you coming? Are you live Thursday?
No, I'm gonna be live from here. I tried to
What a chicken shit.
Fuck you.
Every time.
keep it coming. Yeah.
Well, what's the deal? I thought Bob
Believe me, I
Carpenter.
Yeah, the timing of the draft is very poor when it comes to everything going on back here.
Well, what about Bob Carpenter getting that brand new van
Oh,
wrapped?
my
have him
God. It
drive
looked
Son, that
amazing.
brand new-
Yeah, I saw that. I need to ask Bob about all that.
Well, he's busy, but listen, he's got time to take care of the Hawk house if he had him.
on.
If only we
Bob's
knew when
gonna-
the draft
Bob's
was.
gonna watch all my kids and get them all to school and do all of that.
General
Yeah,
Bob?
easy.
Yeah, he brought football
could.
back.
Put it on your calendar for next year.
Okay.
Same time probably as this year.
God damn it.
Yeah, and we're probably going to do the same show that we're going to do. It'd be
All right,
nice.
noted. I'll take a
Thunderdome
note
now.
after the game. Tell me what the draft is next year.
All right, it's in Detroit. Everybody's going to love it.
Yeah. Last Thursday of April.
Everybody's going to love it.
Let's go to Detroit. We should be at the draft when it's in Detroit.
Absolutely not. That place is a
No,
dump.
but-
No, whoa,
Detroit.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Not go
Detroit's
there.
in 2 years.
Oh, what's
It's an
this?
Arrowhead next year.
Oh, maybe. Maybe we go Kansas
Red, what's the guy?
City.
Red Rocket? What's his
We
name?
should, we should go to a boozy brunch place.
Oh, M&T.
Oh, yeah, that one you guys went to.
MTA.
Or was
No.
that St. Louis?
Oh, yeah, that was St. Louis.
Is that the club that has brunch?
Oh, St. Louis, yeah. What's that place called?
Fuck. I just saw it in the vlog.
St. Louis.
You're talking about the
No,
Jackson
I was
Mahomes
talking
brunch?
about the place that you guys went in St. Louis.
With the fucking
Wheelhouse.
party and like the DJ and
Wheelhouse.
Wheelhouse.
That was a great brunch.
When the draft is in St. Louis,
We're
should-
going for
yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. That place was insane, AJ. Hey,
It
there's
was a nightclub, right? It looked like it.
Yeah, in the middle of the day. And it just said brunch outside, too. Like, I thought we were walking into a brunch place. And they did have brunch. Had some great B's and G's. I think I had a little, they got a breakfast sandwich as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're good. And then it was just full nightclub. I was like, oh, my God.
That happened in Fort Worth, too. That one place, like Scrambles or whatever the hell it was, and we walked in and it was just bumping music and everyone was boozing.
I feel like everybody has a good brunch. Does Indiana have one?
No. A garden table gets after it here and there. Yeah, they're not
food.
bad.
Oh, Diggs is a big-time day boozing guy.
Yeah, there's for a long time there wasn't one boozy brunch place here. Now there's one.
Well, listen, Diggs, don't be so. I mean, did you hear the judgment? Did you hear the judgment in that voice right there?
Host it yourself, Diggs.
Yeah, why don't you open a place right next door? We got a whole crew outside.
Yeah.
There we go. Build it for you.
Bottomless mimosas.
Those
joining
things
us,
are free.
Joining us, they are not. Those things have to be. They have to cost so much money. I was looking around, buying a coffee for like 25 cents, and they got flamethrowers going off in the back.
Ridiculous.
It's awesome though. Good times. Joining us now as we pivot away from brunch at a draft in St. Louis that hasn't been scheduled yet. Let's move to a brand new head coach in the NFL. This is a big deal. I cannot wait to chit chat with this man who is going to operate next to Kirk Cousins in beautiful fashion and bring a team to the Minnesota that everybody from Lake Minnetonka all the way to
Saskatoon.
Brainerd.
yes, can be pumped about. Ladies and gentlemen, former San Diego State University quarterback Kevin O'Connor. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Hey, great. Thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the gig.
Yeah.
There's only
No, thank you very much. Appreciate, obviously, you the San Diego State shout out. I more than appreciate that as well.
Okay, no problem. Let's start talking about that then. Congrats on the now being the head coach. Looking back though, we didn't know enough about you as a player, so we looked through the internet, and you know the internet always right.
Yeah.
6'5", 225 or something like that. 6'5", 225. You ran a 4.6. What, dude? Is that real? Is that really what you were doing as a quarterback coming out of college?
It shouldn't even have been a 4.6. I was in the high 4.5s training. You know, all these gurus start telling you how fast you're going to run. But no, I can move a little bit, and I probably had to because, you know, my one flaw was the one that hurts most quarterbacks that don't make it in this league, and that was being accurate throwing the football. So I needed to be fast because even when they were open, sometimes the better thing for our offense was for me to tuck it down and run.
Great self-awareness. Hey, you know, any first down's a good first down.
Right.
Why didn't you move to tight end? Was there ever a conversation to go to tight end or anything like that? Do you think nowadays you would have been moved in the modern NFL?
Well, especially nowadays, you know, when they don't ask the tight ends to do a lot of the things they used to. I might have fit in real well with that. But I ended up coaching for Chip Kelly a few years later. And I think if Coach would have been in the league, he did tell me that I'd probably still be playing because he would have found some way to use me some way, shape, or form. But no, I got great opportunities to come into this league with the New England Patriots and then get to play for the Jets and kind of bounce around. But I really do look at it, Pat, like everything was part of a plan and a process to help me become a really good coach, and hopefully I'm on my way to doing that.
It's awesome.
Are any of those any of your former coaches that you may have played for or coached with, like, do you have one or two that you kind of lean on the most that maybe are kind of like your mentors?
Yeah, I think I think about Josh McDaniels being one of them. Obviously, a huge part of the reason why I was drafted there. Spent time with him pre-draft, and just throughout my whole journey, even from the time I left New England and became kind of bounced around from place to place. Played for a division rival for 3 years, helping the Jets try to beat the Patriots. I always kept in touch with Josh. I got so much respect for him. He taught me so much football, taught me so much about quarterback play. And playing, even though I was only there a short amount of time, you know, that experience in New England really did shape, my football journey. I really believe that. But Josh is definitely one of them. You talk about a lot of the coaches that I've been able to coach for, like a Chip Kelly, like a Jay Gruden, like obviously Mike Pettin, who's our assistant head coach here. Huge reason giving me my first job that I got into coaching, but then getting to see him, you know, on a daily basis in this role, and now getting him on this staff. I mean, you're talking about guys that have a ton of experience, leaders of men that I can really look back on and take some things from in a lot of different capacities. But players, coaches, I can't tell you, AJ, how much I've been blessed to be around the people that I've been around. And I know you guys probably feel the same way about people along your football journey that helped lead you to where you are to this very day. And I'm no different.
AJ and I talk about it all the time about, hey, to be a coach in the NFL, like, you got to be made for it. Like, you got to. Me and AJ are not made for it. We have decided numerous times, especially after speaking to friends who go on and try to coach in the NFL, and we even try to convince them that they're not made for it either. Like, what are you even doing? Did you know you were going to be a coach? Like, did everybody say, like, probably going to get into coaching? Was it something that the schedule, the nightmare of a schedule, was something you were like, yeah, I'm okay with that, I'm cool with it very early? Or how did that whole thing transition into you being a coach instead of player?
Well, Pat, you're not going to be, I don't want to speak for everybody, but you're not going to, your playing career is not long for this world. When you're second or third year into the league, you start getting hey, man, you make a great coach. So I just remember some really, really good coaches, said that to me very early. So I figured my way of staying in the NFL as a player was to provide that in the quarterback room. And then in some cases, really, especially when I was with the Jets, able to walk down the hall and spend time with the defensive coaches and say, hey, this is how they slide their protections. This is what, Brady may see, out of this look. This is how he's going to view this. This is what this coverage may trigger within their route concepts, things that I just kind of looked at when I watched tape and I said, hey, this information might be good for somebody else, but not just me. And there was a couple things that kind of happened in games where you feel like you had the smallest little bit of kind of help with that, and it kind of piqued that interest. And then I love the quarterback position and all that goes into it, and the details and the techniques and the fundamentals that you can coach up and help a guy go play well on Sundays. So I kind of knew early on the transition out of football into coaching. I tried the broadcasting thing for a year or two and really liked that. I did some work kind of on the side with quarterbacks, but then I got a call to be a quarterback coach in this league. And whether my family, my wife and I, whether we were truly ready or not, we had to do it. And I'm so thankful that I did because I always knew I would be great with it. But I've said this a lot. I've had my wife, Leah, has been phenomenal as a coach's wife, which is the number one requirement to do this job. To be a great dad, be a great husband is great, but you need that support coming right back to you. And she's been unbelievable for me. I think she's going to be a phenomenal head coach's wife, kind of stepping into a leadership role of her own.
Oh, that's awesome.
When you went in to interview for the job there, did you study the roster before you go in? Like, how much knowledge do you have to have of the current roster? And do they ask you a lot of questions back and forth on what you would do with specific players?
That definitely comes up. The good thing for me is I had the benefit of, I think I had another interview the day before with another team. This was also on a game week before we were getting ready to travel to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers in the playoffs. And then the second interview was that following Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was. And it just a lot happened fast that it was more so about, what I wanted to be like as a head coach, the culture I wanted to build, offensive and defensive and special team systems. And then, really presenting who you're going to be as a head coach. But I'd be lying to you, said if the Vikings roster didn't come up, certain players, certain positions, how you would use those guys, that always goes into it for sure.
The natural follow-up here would be about Kirk Cousins, and I do want to get into Kirk Cousins eventually because from what we're hearing about him and our conversations with him, it seems like Kirk Cousins might be a dog. He might be. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if the whole world knows that or not. We'll get into that. But that whole interview process, while having to prepare for the biggest games of your life, did you hate that or love that? That seems like a lot. Is it not?
It was. I did not because it'd be a stretch to say I slept even close to anything normal until long after the Super Bowl. And then right when I thought I was going to get a couple days to rest, I was on a flight out here to get rolling, and I've been at this desk ever since. So through that whole process, it was not one of those situations where I spent the month of December preparing for what was to come. We didn't win a game in the month of November in LA. So talk about the test of your team culture and what ultimately we want to build here. We lost 3 games and had our bye in November and then won 9 out of our next 10. But with that, to win a Super Bowl, takes a heck of a lot of commitment. It takes, trust in your process, trust in what you've built up from a team standpoint. But that takes being all in as a coach. And if Matthew Stafford ever walked in the building and thought that I wasn't all in, 100% prepared, that wouldn't have been fair to him or any other of our other offensive players, or Sean as the head coach. I would never, ever want that to be something that came up. So what that was on my own time, which, as you guys have already described, there's not much of it, especially when you're trying to be in the stretch of it into December and January. So I had to find time. I had to trust what I really do believe, which made it really easy to go in there and have conviction and passion about ultimately what I want to become as a head coach in this league. And I figured that if I was able to present that and a team was willing to give me an opportunity, then the fit's probably right, the leadership structure's probably right, and my impact on this team's probably going to be something that is exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, man, you're going to be a fucking great head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the media thing you had to crush. You are very good at speaking. I want to let you know, like, ready to run through a wall type shit here, man. And none of it sounds like fugazi either. And you, as a player, like, it all sounds very natural to you. I think... Hey, Vikings fans got to be fucking pumped, dude. You guys re-signed Kirk. You re-signed Kirk. You get him some more guaranteed money. You worked with him in Washington. A lot was made of that. A lot was chatted about, like how whenever they talked to you, they said, hey, what would you do with Kirk? You had comfort with Kirk. They wanted to go forward with Kirk. There was never any questions about Kirk potentially not being a Viking, allegedly. Going into this whole thing, now you're going back to the Vikings to work with Kirk Cousins. What are your thoughts on him? You won a Super Bowl with Stafford. Kirk seems to be a guy in all situations. For whatever reason, in the NFC North, it might be tough. What are your thoughts on getting back with Kirk, and was that a big part of the hiring process?
It was for me, just because I know how hard it is to play in this league if your organization and your team doesn't think you have a guy. And that's what we're doing, I mean, on a daily basis is obviously putting together an offensive system to do what Kirk does well, but do what all of our guys do well. But he's our leader. He's our trigger man. And I think, when you put together an offense, I mentioned my flaw as a quarterback. Kirk does not have that. Kirk is one of the more accurate passers that I've been around. I think he's incredibly tough and durable, which doesn't get talked about enough as far as the quarterback position goes in this league. Guys that are available and in that huddle with their guys every single Sunday, that matters. You guys know that. That matters to have that guy out there. The grind of the preparation that goes in Monday through Saturday, to do that with your starter and have him run out there and be your guy every single week, that matters a ton, like I said. And then his experience level, he's played a lot of football. He's played in some different situations, some different offenses. But the one thing, I know when we got Matthew in LA is his football intelligence and his football IQ from all the experiences that he had kind of been in when he was in Detroit. We took advantage of that in a way where we could build something that we didn't even know was really possible in LA to try to take our offense to the next level, doing what he does best, which is a lot of stuff. And I feel like Kirk is like that as well, where we can obviously use my previous experience with him, but also push him to hopefully new levels where we can build a quarterback-friendly system. We feel very strongly about our offensive philosophy fitting a lot of different players and their styles, but when a guy can take ownership of it and take that ownership out into the huddle with the type of players we have around him in our offensive huddle, I feel really, really good about Kirk as our quarterback. And, he's off to a great start this spring. Just came off the field a little bit ago. We had a great first day on the grass and can't wait to get back tomorrow.
Hey, football's back.
Yeah,
Football's
baby.
back. Woo. Let's go. Go ahead, Ty.
Coach, obviously it's impossible pretty much to get a head coaching job in the NFL. So most guys, when they get the opportunity, aren't really in a position to turn it down or say, it's not right for them. But when you look at the Rams coming from where you're at and they're kind of, you win the Super Bowl, they're built for the next couple years. Was it bittersweet at all leaving that situation to go to Minnesota, or is it one of those things where what you can do, you kind of had the pieces in place and you're confident that wherever you were going to go, you're going to be successful?
It's a great question. And the first thing that I would say is, finishing it off the way we did. There's no other way to go into an organization and want to be a part of something. You make the playoffs our first year there. We knew what we had to do to, go take our team to the next level and go finish that thing off the right way. But then it's going through the adversity of not winning a game in the month of November. It's going through the adversity of having some critical injuries at some key moments where, as a team, you learned how to, when your back was against the wall, you continue to come together as a group and trust in each other, trust in the man next to you as a coach or a player. There's nothing more that I could have wanted to learn than actually going through that and then winning a Super Bowl. But as far as getting the opportunity to get this job, this has been the best experience of my life so far, getting to lead this group, build a coaching staff, connect with these players, connect with the people in this building. It's a great building full of a lot of talented people. To say I was really, really excited to jump on the jet and get out here was an understatement. But I will say that I feel very prepared from my experience and my time around Sean McVay and that organization to help me know exactly how I want this organization to be and function. And now it's just about rolling up our sleeves and going to do the thing. And it wasn't bad either to know that although it couldn't be fully official, to get that 2-3 weeks with those guys of knowing what was to come and knowing that there was a clock on my time in that building up in the corner of the room. So I didn't take a moment for granted, not one of those relationships for granted. I won't forever and ever, just knowing how special of a time it was there. But couldn't be more excited to be where I'm at and be rolling with these guys.
You're the 10th coach in Minnesota Viking history, and the whole thought that, you're building something right now, and Lake Minnetonka's out there.
Oh, yeah.
The weather's good. Hey, it gets to fucking negative 20 out there. Hey, negative 20, negative 25 out there. Now, that city is beautiful.
Beautiful.
And it's all connected downtown, and there's a lot going on. It gets chilly. Hey, San Diego State, California guy, I know you're born in Knoxville. It gets cold as shit. Are you ready for Arctic temperatures in Minneapolis, Minnesota?
So you talk about when I first got out here, we played the Super Bowl on a Sunday, went to the parade that Wednesday, got on a plane about an hour later, and I told everybody, my family was able to fly with me. I told my kids, I told my wife, I'm not wearing a heavy coat when we get off the plane. People have to see me, being willing to 11 p.m., midnight, whatever it was. I'm not wearing a heavy coat. I'm going to get off this plane. I'm going to walk to, our transportation, and I'm going to tough this thing out with a smile on my face. Well, we get off the plane, and I look left and I look right, and there's not exactly transportation right there right away. It eventually pulled up, but to say that when I got in the SUV, I might have underestimated what I was walking into. I've learned now to dress and be prepared when you walk outside. It is a beautiful place, unbelievable fans. There is not a place that I go that I don't feel the passion and enthusiasm of our fans. I've been on the sideline at US Bank Stadium a couple times to know what that's like. I'm just ready to be on the other sideline there with the support of all those fans, and that gets me excited just talking about it, to be honest with you. I'm ready to – you talk about running through walls, I'm ready to do it right now. For our fans there at US Bank Stadium. Holy cow.
Hey, they fill it up, too.
Oh, yeah.
They fill it up.
Skulls.
It is like, the. And then, boom, boom.
That's excellent, man.
Come on. We're going to do it. They get going. We're going. We're going. We're going. We're going. I was like so excited to get in there. Everybody that I knew from other teams, they're like, "Is this your first time playing over there?" It's like, yeah. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna love it, man. It is awesome. Wait till they start doing the whole thing, and the guy does the thing, and it's a whole scene." We ended up just blowing them the fuck out. I mean, it like early, all the way through. Didn't even get to experience it. Like literally, we were not supposed to win the game the way we won the game, but it was just we got lucky early, and then the bounces were just all going our way, like the entire game. It was unfortunate because I didn't get to experience that place. That's like one of the best fans, I think, in the entire NFL. Just doesn't get talked about enough because, the big bad wolf, Aaron Rodgers, is in the neighborhood. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you go about focusing on an entire team now? And you said in the interview you had to chat about the offense, the defense, and the special team systems. What is it, just how you've picked it up along the way, what you think is the best method? How are you deciding defensive strategies and special team strategies as well?
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think I knew how I want this team to look in all three phases. I think Ed Donatel is here for a reason because of the defensive structure, which is really, when you talk about some of the guys that have kind of branched out from that Fangio type of system, whether it's Ed here, Brandon, they're running that system in LA, Brandon Staley running it, obviously with the Chargers. There's a lot of pieces of it around the league now, but the reason why that is, Pat, is because quarterbacks don't love to play against it. The coverage is a little bit, they play techniques on the back end where you don't always know what the coverage is until well after the snap. And, in my experience with quarterbacks that are trying to see things after the snap, hopefully that makes them take one more hitch. Hopefully that takes them one more half a second where obviously Danielle Hunter, Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, whether it's Jordan Hicks or Eric Kendricks pressuring, hopefully it's one more click that those guys can get home, and that coverage can just be murky enough that the quarterback has to hold that rock. Obviously that's the intent. You got to be able to stop the run in this league. So we have principles about doing that, and then ultimately we want to affect the quarterback with the way we play on defense, both the pass rush and obviously the coverage structure. Special teams wise,
here we go.
It's one of those things where Matt Daniels was a guy that obviously he coached for Coach Fossil and with the Rams before they went to the Cowboys, and I just always have so much respect for the way their guys play, the way they execute in really that phase that does determine a lot of things when it comes to winning a football game, whether it's field position, take advantage of the strengths of your team and the depth of your team to go, be a weapon for a football team on a Sunday. I do think that that's a big deal, and we're off to a great start in both those phases. It does help being the head coach so I can learn the defense because I will call plays against them in practice, so I do have that.
That's awesome.
Hey, earlier you mentioned building like a QB-friendly system. Like, what does that look like? What does that mean exactly?
Well, to start, I think the type of plays you run versus the looks you're going to run them against. We want to have an advantage when the ball's snapped, no matter what defense you line up in. Ultimately, as an offense, we feel like we can hold the pen last, and that's taking advantage of aggressive defenses, taking advantage of defenses that might play certain coverages, man, zone, single high, split safety, different front structures, different personnel groupings. We feel like ultimately in the end we can build a week in and week out offense in this league that can at least give our guys whatever advantage we're responsible for pre-snap. We can hopefully let that bleed over to the post-snap as well by the types of things we're calling. And more importantly, maybe the things that we're not calling, not asking guys to do when things might get difficult post-snap. We want guys to have clarity. We want, that clarity is something that allows really talented players to play fast, explosive, make great decisions with the ball in their hands, which ultimately leads to, when you got the players like we do, really good things happening. And then it's about how do you apply pressure as a coaching staff to the other side, because there's some great defensive coaches in this league. So whatever advantage we can possibly give the quarterback, I think, bleeds over to the rest of that offensive huddle. Tactically, I could get into some real finite details of it, but the biggest thing, if you guys were playing quarterback and you decided, hey, I don't really like that play versus that look, guess what? We're not going to call it, and we're going to run a play in that situation based upon the sameness and likeness of making things start out looking the same in our offense, but they're different. Sometimes even when the defense may have the answers to the test, you still got to react, you still got to play, and you gotta be able to play at our play speed with the clarity that our players have.
Coach, listen, it's obvious that you are a brainiac. You hear me? You are next level intelligent, and that is awesome. We're doing some research in the back. Highest Wonderlic scored, obviously, whenever he came out. Yeah. Okay. In the way you're speaking, big ass brain. I can hear this. Is this why you were so pumped for Kirk Cousins? And then you talked about Matthew Stafford's recall. And I just heard you explain your offense, how you're going to hold the pen last, but you also want clarity. Is there going to be a lot of hey, everybody's got to be on the same page, like we see in Tom Brady's offenses, like we see in Aaron Rodgers' offenses, like we saw in Peyton Manning's offenses, where although he's making checks, there are sometimes where the wide receiver is going to have to just see the same thing that the quarterback's seeing. It seems like that only happens in certain places, and all those places seem to have success. Why is that, and is that the type of offense you're looking for? Even though it's clarity, it's going to be pretty complex thinking with the pen last metaphor you made there.
Yeah, and I think the key is, you may be a week in and week out offense as far as game planning, but if you're staying true to, foundationally at your core what that offense looks like, especially on first and second down. I think the situational football, third down, red zone, 2-minute, those can always look different based upon what you're seeing on the other side. But first and second down, we want to dictate, to the defense, by our system, which could look like a lot of different things depending on how you line up defensively. And make no mistake about it, Pat, I feel really good about what we're doing offensively because of our players. I feel strongly about myself where I'm at in my career, but I have a great coaching staff as well. Guys that will help get these players prepared, and it's not just, words that we're speaking as a staff. We're giving them the why. They know exactly why we're doing things week in and week out. Maybe these slight adjustments that could be hard for the defense, subtle and easy for us once our guys understand. But that slightest difference could be the winning edge for us to have success on a play, which could trigger a drive to go score, which might be exactly what our team needs to go win a football game.
Austin Eckler told us that Brandon Staley started explaining why every phase was doing what it was doing, and it helped the team immensely. They were learning about it. I feel like the younger generation of people just understand that once people understand why something's happening, it's a lot easier and better for them to buy in and also remember it, I think. I can't wait to see what your team does. You're a fucking incredibly impressive human being. I assume people tell you that all the time. I mean, you just got a job 1 of 32 or whatever. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Coach, I'm a Patriots fan, so first off, thank you for your service in 2008. But also, you mentioned McDaniels. Did he reach out to you at all when you got the job? And do you guys have any friendly wagers on who's going to have more wins next year, you or the Raiders?
He did reach out. Him and I, have had some great dialogue already at the owners' meetings, able to catch up, under obviously different circumstances than maybe the last time we talked. And we do not have any wagers, although I'm sure I will keep in touch with him. We do not play them this year, at least on the regular season schedule. So I'll definitely lean on Josh here and there because he's been a head coach before in this league, and he's getting an opportunity to do it again. One of the brightest offensive minds I think we have in our league, and ultimately, I think he's a great leader. I think he's going to do really good things there.
Can you still spin it or what?
I just did. The defense was out on the field a couple hours ago, Pat. I'm telling you, man, it may have been in the indoor, but I had it going today.
Hey, and thrown to the defense sounds like a guy that's not accurate is perfect for you.
You called it, man. Throw it to the general area. Those guys will go get the ball, and half of them can't catch anyway. That's why they're playing defense.
You shit talk to her in practice?
It just depends. If somebody says something to me, that's normally what might get me going a little bit. But I won't start it, but I'll definitely compete once it does begin.
It sounds like Kirk Cousins is pretty similar. Last question here, Coach. We can't thank you enough for all your time here. Go ahead, Tone.
Coach, you just referenced the owners' meetings. Like, do the first-time head coaches at the owners' meetings have to buy dinner? They get hazed at all? Does Dan Campbell come up and try to give you a no-game and say, "Welcome to the division"? Anything like that going on?
There was a lunch that the attendance of some unnamed coaches, they were at. And obviously there was a session taking place after that lunch. There was one lunch where I had to pick up the tab just to be able to leave the lunch on time and get back like the first-year coach that I was. So I had to do the old pick up the tab. Hey, best of luck to you guys. Lunch is on me, but I'm not going to be late for these meetings because, obviously the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots were sitting right next to each other. So you guys know who I was sitting by, and I didn't want to be late to that meeting.
Yeah, smart, by the way. Not a good first-year impression, I'd assume, for all the Vikings fans. Well, good luck with everything. I hope you're enjoying the entire process. It sounds like you're going to do an incredible job. Good luck with everything, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. It'll be fun to do this again soon.
Oh, you want to come back?
Absolutely. You kidding me?
How about it?
Oh, yeah.
You enjoyed a good football talk. It was good football chatter. What's the rest of the day look like? What do you got today? This was in preparation for what? A meal, a workout, going back into the film room? What do you got next?
Well, this is the first time we've been on the grass with the guys, so I'll get to go watch some of that. And then we've got some very important draft talk, with our GM, who I cannot speak highly enough.
Who you guys taking, you think?
Yeah, what's your draft board? Can you just give us your draft board?
Luckily, I won't know that till this meeting, so I got nothing for you right now. So next time.
Well, I think your dad was in the FBI. Sounds like you could have talked your way out of that if you had to. We appreciate you so much, man. Good luck over there. You're incredibly impressive. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, coach!
Hey, good dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Look,
He seems to kind of be flying under the radar compared to all the other new head coaches too. But yeah, he's very confident himself. I'm impressed.
Me too. That was didn't seem like it was a bunch of bullshit.
No.
either.
We're
You
going to
know?
have to tell John Sheeran.
I heard a
to
lot of good
raise
things
their-
about him too.
What's that, pal?
I've heard a lot of good things about him. Played, talking to guys over the last year basically that have played for him. Like, yeah, people love him.
Did you hear his self-awareness at the quarterback position? That's never happens.
It's pretty rare, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, well, the one thing you need, the accuracy. I just I did not have.
Good leader. It's a sign of a good leader, though. That he has awareness and he's able to say things like that.
Yeah, and I assume he is also a rather hilarious conversation participant. I would assume he adds in there. And Zito's doing a lot of research on him and his family. I mean, he comes from big brain family as well. Yeah, big brain family.
He put a paisan behind the bars.
Yeah, big brain, big FBI, the whole thing.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah.
Took that John Gotti.
Yeah, allegedly he's a big part of the Dahn, the Teflon Dahn.
Really?
Dahn. FBI, who knows? But Kevin O'Connell seems to be a perfect head coach. He spoke very well, used to play. Now he's learning he's a quarterback, he's learning the defense.
That's right.
So, and they're putting in defense that is actually hard for the quarterback. And he explained why they're doing the defensive philosophy they're doing. How about on the special teams thing, the most important part of the game? He said it, AJ. You heard him.
Did he say most important part of the game?
Yeah, wins you the game, he said, actually. Wins you the game.
I mean, yeah, field position absolutely is critical. You need to win the field position battle.
Yeah, you defensive folks can change the field position battle like that. One turnover is much better than 4 punts.
Yeah.
But I will take the dubs. I will take the dubs.
It must be a dream, too, to be an offensive coach and walk into Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook that you get to be able to work with.
Yeah, and it sounds like everything we've heard about Justin Jefferson, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's incredibly, hardworking, diligent, explosive, and also football IQ through the roof, right? That's what like Thielen and everybody is chatting about. Thielen, football IQ through the roof. Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook. I assume with what he said, hey, we're going to hold the pen last. That was such a fascinating thing. That means they're waiting on the defense to change, but that change might not happen until 5 seconds left on the play clock, 4 seconds left on the play clock, and everybody just has to be on the same exact page right before that happens. And then football looks very easy for those teams, although it is not easy at all to get to that point where everybody's on the same exact page, AJ.
It takes thousands and thousands of reps against every single look. It takes thousands of hours probably in film room together talking through all of the changes and what you're going to do. But I like that he mentioned, though, like when the ball snaps, they're going to have clarity. There's people that try to counter everything. Okay, if they give us this, you check to this. They give us that, you check to that, and the ball snaps, and everyone's like, okay, what are we in? No, you have to eventually get to what you're going to do.
The amount of trust it takes in the person next to you, too. Like, you just have to trust that this person is going to be on the same exact page as you are. This person watched the same exact amount of film. This person will recall exactly what they're supposed to do because they might supposed to shade for something that you're going to inevitably need. So is there going to be a big collision here? Are they going to go on 2 different pages? And the quarterback has to trust that everybody's doing it too, because you see some of those picks that are just so bad, and it's like, well, that's the old zigzag situation.
Yeah.
Right there. And it probably wasn't just one person. It was probably numerous people. I hope they can get it in there because it is fun to watch those types of teams operate.
Yeah, and if you're in the NFC North, obviously the Packers have, Rodgers. But if you're a Bears fan or a Lions fan, you probably aren't too happy with that interview.
Yeah, deuce. Really, deuce. Did you hear him on McAfee Show?
Yeah. We're in a good spot.
That guy's a genius. Deuce. Tell you what, man. So that's like that, getting to watch that Colts era, that first thing, up close and personal, like the amount of reps that they did on every, because he was throwing timing balls, and those checks were being made like without anybody saying anything sometimes, So you're throwing a timing ball, and also nobody has really said anything. The amount of trust and reps that takes, it was absurd to watch. It was absolutely insane to watch. But then, lo and behold, every week, basically, it was like, bum, 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 touchdown.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 caught up in the red zone. And you're always able to move. There's just some teams that are just able to move, and I think that's the reason why. But you got to get the group of guys that can do it. And maybe Minnesota's got it. Maybe they got the guys that can do it.
Yeah, I mean, their roster is pretty solid. And it is crazy because I feel like typically when like a new head coach gets an interview, it's always like, oh, these guys are going to fucking stink next year. Like, this guy's making himself look like a moron. Like, that is not – he's one of the few instances where it's like, oh, shit, maybe Minnesota.
That sounded good,
Yeah,
didn't it?
that son of a bitch can talk.
Hey, that was a great interview, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine him in these interviews for head coaching, just walk in there, just got off the field. Yeah, we got Super Bowl practice. Sorry about it. Yeah, we just took Tom Brady's soul in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no big deal.
Don't know if you saw that play call. Yeah. The reason why that play happened is because, I don't know, we put in about 500 hours of work on that. Those who are on the exact same page, Tom Brady's done. Retired. See you later.
You see that?
See that? I don't know if you saw that. That's what we're going to do here. Minnesota Vikings. Boom. Bucket. He isn't saying that because of how incredibly humble it seems like he is and how he understands how hard it is to win in games. But it feels like they got a guy there, AJ. And I don't know if the Packers fans would ever be worried about anything.
No.
But there is a time, and was a time, where Colts fans weren't worried about anything in the AFC South. And then a graphic came out today, the last time every single team in the NFL had won their division. The Colts are down there damn near next to the real bad teams.
Jesus.
The non-championship football caliber teams of the NFL. Obviously, the Lions haven't won since 1993.
Whoa.
Right.
And
What about the team below
the
them?
Browns
Not
haven't
last.
won since forever.
Whoa.
The Colts haven't won since 2014, though.
Man.
Yikes.
That's 8 years ago. So what I'm saying is that whole narrative, you still got Aaron, which is great news.
Yep.
But that whole narrative of like, yeah, you could just dominate your division for a long time, like, hey, it changes. And I just want to let you know, I've seen it firsthand right here in Indianapolis.
I mean, I'm not worried about it. You know, they still have to go out and actually do it before, anyone that's a Packers fan gives a shit about the Vikings. But, hey, looks like they got a guy.
Hey, they got a guy. We appreciate him stopping by. Hour 2 is wrapping up here as we chit-chat about nothing going into the break.
Hell yeah.
Ben Simmons, AJ, what is going on?
Jesus.
Talk about that in the next hour. Tyson Fury. Wow. That uppercut was awesome. It looked like that guy's head. More of that. And John Sheeran, head odds maker for FanDuel, will join us in the next hour. I missed the hour, but in the next, and then I want to break.
Yeah, that was.
How about Ben Simmons? What are your thoughts on Ben Simmons, AJ Hawk? This is I'm so confused by the Ben Simmons. And when I say the Ben Simmons, I'm encapsulating everything that is Ben Simmons. The basketball player, the human, the gamer, the situation, the back, the mental health, the whole year and a half now at this point, the ending in Philadelphia, the brand new beginning parade in Brooklyn. I mean, it was, I don't understand any of it. I don't understand any. There's no way this guy feels as if he should have zero soreness at all in his entire body, and that's the only time he's ready to play basketball, right? This has to be misrepresented because it has been reported that he was going to play tonight in Game 4, a win or go home situation for the Nets, where KD and Kyrie seem to be at odds with the Boston Celtics, who are on fire right now.
Hell yeah.
In Lockdown City. It'd be great to have one more superstar caliber player in the Brooklyn Nets camp, or the season is over. And what happens this offseason? I know Shams and everybody says way too early to blow it up. Steve Nash going to answer. Whatever. He was supposed to come back. Then it comes back. He had back soreness, so he will not. Everybody's sore, right, at this point, AJ? Isn't everybody sore? And it has to be more than just him not liking basketball, him wanting to play only whenever he's 100%. There's no way this dude is the worst fucking teammate of all time. There is no way this guy has the biggest heist in NBA history. There's no way that this guy is just saying, fuck it, I don't want to play, just collect my money and I'll sit here in an orange costume in the middle of the bench with sunglasses on in the middle of a fucking game, not laboring at all, not appearing to be in pain at all. There's no way. There has to be something, AJ, right? Has to be.
What is it? I don't know what it is. And when I hear the term, when you say he woke up sore and so he can't play, like that like, I don't want to say triggers me, but it absolutely does. Like, what is, okay, whatever's going on with his back, I've said on here before, back pain is the worst pain because it affects every aspect of your life. The second you wake up, you try to lift your leg up, like it's brutal. He doesn't look like he has that when he's sitting on the bench and all this stuff. And I feel like he has a golden opportunity in front of him. They're down 3-0. He could come in and be the hero. I'm not saying they're going to go and win the series, but what if they win a few games and he looks good and KD gets back on track? Then he can change the whole narrative about himself.
Yeah, I think this could be a great babyface turn if he decides, you know what, fuck it, I'm playing tonight like an hour beforehand, which we don't know if that's real or not. But we have to go back to Shams reporting that he was eyeing Game 4 to return Monday. And remember, Shams has been in the camp, it feels like, of the Benjamin Simmons for this entire time, even all the way back to the Sixers drama and fiasco and everything that unfolded there. So when Sham said he's eyeing Monday the 4th to come back, or game 4 to come back, everybody assumes that's gospel. Steve Nash was then asked about it, and Steve Nash goes, that's news to me. I did not know that he was coming back game 4. Shams goes, Steve always has to do that. Steve has to do that or whatever the case. I wonder now, after reading this and seeing Reggie Miller's response and other former players' responses, because I thought we were just sports stooges from the outside that don't understand. I thought that's what we were. Like, we don't know the basketball culture. Maybe that's, I honestly believe that was potentially the case because of how confused we've been by this entire time. But what if Steve Nash was saying, I did not know that game 4 was when he was coming back? Because Steve Nash, who played like 18 years in the league and is a dog, said, you don't fucking know this guy. This guy ain't fucking coming back on Monday. This guy doesn't want to. Like, is that why Steve Nash said that, I wonder? And do Kyrie and KD and everybody else on the team feel that way and they know that they can't? Like, or what is the deal? I don't understand why.
Didn't Steve Nash battle through back pain for this whole second half of his career?
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, is Ben Simmons spoke to the media at all? Like, are they going to make him available? Is he ever going to address any of this?
And is he ever going to say, like, yeah, well.
I would come out and be like, if I wasn't playing, I'd be like, hey, I'm not sore, guys. Like, I have a chipped bone in my back. Or like, whatever it is, it can't be I'm sore. Like I've said before, being sore is good. It means you're doing something. It means you've been active. You've done something good. Your body's repairing itself. So it can't just be that. It has to be more. Is his leg going numb? Like, what is it?
I love the fact that you said that triggers you. You're like, yeah. When I read that he was sore, that triggered me, AJ said. A man who missed no games.
Well, it's like somebody that wakes up or they say, I'm not going to go. I just don't feel right. I just don't feel right. And they like hit their hammy. I'm like, okay. Like, no.
Nobody feels
not
that
how it works.
Okay. And by the way, I don't think everybody feels that way, AJ. Like my knees hurt.
I know. I understand. It's not good to put bad tape out there if you're not 100%. But hey, there's a big difference between being 85% and 10% of what you're capable of doing.
I agree.
Like there's a difference.
I agree completely.
Especially when your contract, he's already slotted to make $35 million plus for the next 3 years. So it's not like he's.
So money's already in the bank.
Yeah.
And they can need you. Maybe it comes out and plays. Maybe it's more to the story than just what's being reported. And I assume that's going to be the case until otherwise. Because if not, this dude might be the biggest. You
can say it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying
Stephen A is okay with it, isn't he?
No, Stephen A's not happy. No.
What?
Big Burke also took a big shot at him as well.
Yeah, so did Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in the basketball culture is saying, like, hey, because I honestly, and I was going to get into this early, like the mental health thing, like, all right, we don't know what anybody's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's a real thing. We have no idea. And there's no reason to take shots because we have no clue what that could end up being. Honestly, that's a real thing. Now, do people think that he was utilizing the mental health excuse far beyond its actual reasoning? People were saying that, not us. We just stay away from that. But then whenever it's like, no, he is capable, but his back now his back is flared up, and then this back is a herniated disc is what Shams called it.
Yeah.
But then he was able to play 5-on-5, and he's still sore. It's like, well, it has to be more then, right? It has to be more. I refuse to believe that this guy is the biggest. I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
Say it.
I'm not saying it.
Bitch made cat.
He's a bitch made cat.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He might be.
He is.
Could
It has to be something else.
He could come off the bench, like, and
Smack the floor.
Smack the floor, play defense. He wouldn't if it really is his back. Wouldn't really have to worry about scoring or rebounds.
Oh, you don't think his back smacking the floor? Dude, try to get
no,
down.
no, but I'm just talking.
Dude, try your best.
I'm talking boxing out. He's so big. If he could cover, the 3 or the 4 on Boston, and probably be okay, especially if it's a guy off the bench. But he's a great passer too. Like he could stand.
Guy's got vision.
Yeah, he's got vision. He can make plays just passing the ball. Like,
aren't they just going to sit off him though? Do you think they just sit 10 feet off him? Like, all right, bud, here you go, shoot a 3.
Yeah, he might have learned how to shoot. Yeah. I learned how to shoot.
Oh, well, the first 4 years.
He has a great opportunity in front of him.
Yeah.
I wish he was healthy enough to take.
Hey, let's go, Ben.
Yeah. Good luck, Ben.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes with hour 3. We'll have John Sheeran, the head odds maker at FanDuel. He is the book at FanDuel Sportsbook.
Hell yeah.
We'll chit chat with him about the new number 1 overall in the draft odds. You see that, AJ?
I did. It's getting interesting, isn't it?
It is. Draft Spectacular 3 days away.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. See you in 3 minutes.
Machine.
It's 310J, dude.
Oh, top of the line.
That's when they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
Yes. The 310J, when somebody saw it, that's sexy, and he was like, the country music, you're right,
it is.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. Oh, look at bad.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah.
Party in the front, business in the back, am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business
Business
all
on both
sides.
ends.
That's right.
Yeah, the plot down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled, dude.
Everyone's getting plotted.
And then on the back, on the backside, whenever you start cracking earth,
Oh yeah.
oh my
You
god!
need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns, so it's always in the front. Whatever you're working on, business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right.
Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at all.
That's how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like you
tires,
might be worried
Foxy. Yeah, exactly. Foxy.
I'm just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
That's right.
All right, because these rear wheel powered vehicles that you would never
Yeah,
understand.
you don't know anything about that, Foxy.
You have no
I
idea.
would not know.
Wake up.
I got friends that know. I don't know.
Listen, when you're drifting gears, okay, on a rear wheel, especially for 600 some ponies, you got to watch for like any, plot holes or debris.
Of course.
Because you can and then hit a tree. Because the back end kicks out. And then you won't drive that car ever again. Because how are you not supposed to drift it? And I guess, how are you not supposed to hit another tree?
Yeah, right.
That's my life. Doesn't have to be yours, though. Thank you, Andrew, for calling from the 310J. That's a beautiful piece of machinery.
It is.
Gorgeous.
Take that thing another round. Oh, look at that thing prop itself up.
Lift kit.
That's why the wheels don't matter in the front, pal.
Yeah.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is hour 3 on this marvelous Monday, April 25th, 2022. The Draft Spectacular is just 3 days away.
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough for watching here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. To my left, your right, the man with the greatest jawline in all of sports, Aaron James Hawk.
Yeah.
What's up, AJ?
What's up? But so Sheeran is 215, correct?
We will be having John Sheeran, head odds maker for FanDuel.
Why do you get so mad?
Well, I don't. Because normally you do it 30 seconds before an introduction is coming of the person. So it's like
it's all because I'm dead. Like I'm serious. I'm really asking. That's usually the case.
yes, John Sheeran will be joining us in about 12 minutes. Yes, and the boys are here. The Toxic Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Tone Diggs is here. How we gambling on Hammer?
Dahn.
Actually, very, very, very hot. We're all swinging very hot bats.
That's what I'm talking about, boys.
Here we go, boys.
Even Bruce, I think, went undefeated on Friday.
Atta baby Bruce. At Papa Gumpino. How's is it soccer betting that's really hot for you, or the MLB? What are we making money on right now?
Baseball was very good on Saturday. Sunday feels like maybe take it easy on baseball. Sunday, getaway day. Guys are leaving town.
No
tough day to
Chick-fil-A.
bet. Yeah, it's a tough day to bet.
Jesus is talking.
We got the Champions League this week though. So
What? Cristiano Ronaldo to score the other day was a great little drop into the group text. We appreciate that, Gumpy, because some things are very predictable in soccer. For instance, Cristiano Ronaldo coming off a very emotional week with the family.
Yeah.
He's gonna score a goal.
Absolutely.
Of course.
What was that? Plus something? What
plus
was,
140. Should have had 2. Some other guy took the penalty shot. What the fuck are we doing?
what's that all about?
What are you doing, Bruno?
Why is
Sick
it-
had a game winner, too.
What's that, pal?
fucking Captain America had a game winner too.
Prolific?
Off the bench.
Yeah, Prolific's going to score. Why don't they start him? He's just better off the bench. It comes on, chip on his shoulder, flies around a little
Feels
bit.
like he does always score when he comes on.
All right, so USA's got to do that. Put his ass on the bench.
And Barcelona might be dead again.
No! Hey, Jay, you hear that?
What happened, Gump?
Barcelona. What's going on?
Who says it like that?
Barcelona. What's going on?
They've lost 3 games at home in the last 10 days.
No. Barcelona. Now Barcelona, because they get rid of Messi, right? That's when this all went downhill.
Their young stud Pedri did get hurt. They aren't the same team without him.
Jeez.
Well, and the coach Xavi is not performing to what everyone thought he would.
You can't get the boys out there to fly around.
Xavi's numbers are not as good as some people thought they might be.
All right, let's talk about some other things that are easily bettable, other than Barcelona's downfall. Should have seen that coming when Messi was driven into Paris like he was Paris King over there with the entire. How's he doing? Where's he at?
He scored on the weekend. PSG lifted the French League Cup this week.
Congratulations!
Wow. No way, Messi. Let's
Another cup.
Another cup.
That's
for
regular
Messi.
season.
That's right. Yeah, they won. They're in the Champions League now.
No, they're
There's
out of the
27 cups a
Champions
year you
League.
can win.
They're out of the Champions League.
There's only 4 teams left, my friend.
I thought they just won a cup.
They lifted the cup.
That's the
How do you
League
keep
Cup.
track of any of this?
Real Madrid, Real
Play
Madrid,
FIFA.
Man
If
City.
you watch soccer, how?
Well, listen, we're trying to learn right now. I think, but it is. It
All right,
changes.
I'm sorry, Goomp. The floor is yours.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
This is
that.
soccer
It's a
talk.
damn
About
shame you
time.
can't be here live for the draft spectacular.
Yeah, it's biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But thank you. Valencia, Villarreal, Liverpool, and Manchester City, Real Madrid are the 4 teams left in the Champions League.
So the cup that Messi and PSG just won puts them in the Champions League next year.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is last year's Champions League,
Yeah.
while this year's champions are being crowned.
Hell yeah.
Are all the other champions being crowned right now?
Liverpool and Man City is an absolute dogfight for the EPL crown right now. Liverpool's 1 point behind. It's going to come down to the fucking end.
Oh, so it's tournaments points. It's not a game to game.
It's league, yeah.
Okay.
Do we know if the MLS got their invite to the Champions League or not?
Yeah, because if they don't let the Portland Timbers or the Columbus Crew take on the likes of Barcelona in them,
One time.
I will never take the Champions League serious.
Well, Gareth Bale may be coming to the MLS.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
That'll help.
Yeah,
That's what I heard. He's great player.
Put us in then. I
of the best
heard
left foots of all
Austin
time.
FC also had a very good weekend too. Good club.
Austin FC is one of the better teams in the MLS, actually.
Is that Matt McConaughey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wear green, right?
Yeah.
He's got those boys buzzing.
Yeah.
The MLS is currently on.
Oh, speaking of the heat of the season.
Hey, listen, I'm the biggest fucking Portland Timbers fan you're gonna find, and I have not been able to find the
MLS
games
is
on my
back
dial.
tournament saved us from COVID. It's all we had.
Speaking of, did the USFL
I had no
play this
idea.
weekend?
Thought we were in the off season.
We just started the season.
Come on. What the fuck?
Well, you haven't worn your Austin FC jersey, so
I'm saving it for the playoff.
The fucking Detroit minor league team just beat the Columbus Crew. All right.
Really?
Yes.
Columbus
Oh,
Crew.
we didn't have our main guys.
Thought that was a friendly.
Ty. MLS did not deserve
I
that.
didn't know.
The certainty in your voice, the absolute confusion. You were flabbergasted in that moment.
Yeah, when you're as big a fan of the Portland Timbers as I am, I want to watch the fucking game. So if I would have known that the season is 10 games in,
Why are you a fan of Portland?
they're just fucking champions, absolute champions.
Hey,
Fine,
they're
Rob.
fans. That Pacific Northwest, that fandom out there is wild. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
a championship fan base over there.
And I was a Seattle Sounders guy, but then the fucking way they let go of Clint, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. I'm going up to Portland.
The Timbers are off to a slow start. They are in 9th, and they're confident.
Out of 9 teams, right?
Timbers. They didn't know, you weren't cheering for them.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
You didn't
So-
even know that they started.
So now the season begins.
Boom. That was all pre-tie.
That's right.
B-tie. BT.
BT.
They are in 9th place in their division, BT.
Columbus in 12th. After
Jesus.
a hot start.
They lost to
They're
the Detroit
due.
minor league team.
What's going on?
Columbus
Yeah, we're due.
Anyways, let's move on from soccer, and I want to let you know that was rude of you.
I didn't.
What you did, to will you apologize, please, to the MLS, the beautiful people?
I'm sorry to everyone who works in or is employed by the MLS because I am a diehard fan. Okay, so I apologize. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about the league that you tried to bring up. The USFL did happen this weekend.
Did they
Really?
play games?
Did you guys watch? Huh?
I didn't get to see a whole lot.
Tone?
I thought there was only a 1 week season.
Connor?
I'm not watching that fucking Mickey Mouse game.
All right. We didn't just, there was a yes or no there.
So the answer is no.
Did you?
I did not know it was on. No.
Did you, Nick?
I saw the kickoff of the Philadelphia Stars game, but then at the same time, the Pittsburgh Penguins absolutely
So that's
kicked
a-
the shit out of the Red Wings.
So that's a yes, though.
What
He did-
networks could I watch it?
Well, Nick?
FS1.
FS1. Zito, did you watch?
I did not.
Voxy?
No, Michigan lost again. I did see that.
Gumpy?
No.
Okay, so our focus group says no one person. One person watched.
There's also, I mean, you got NBA play. Like, there's so much shit going on right now. It's tough to throw.
Well, Friday Night SmackDown too going on.
Not even a thought, too.
Yeah,
So
like I never even searched the game.
They're dead, dude. They are so dead. I saw a Tia, but by the way, not happy about it. Okay.
No, it stinks.
I'd like there to be a league that is an opportunity for guys to put football on film so they can maybe get an opportunity with the NFL. With that being said,
Seems impossible now.
These spring leagues feel like it's going to be very difficult unless it is run very, very well with good players. I think
Even if you do, how do you do it though? Yeah, we don't have to get into it, but yeah, how do you get people invested in the teams past the first week or two? It seems like it seems very difficult.
So I know President Dwayne Johnson, whenever he bought the XFL, started negotiating with the NFL about experimenting with technology, right? Like, hey, we'll test out some of your technology. Unless there can be some bottom quarter of roster in the offseason of the NFL team sharing to a league, like not a feeder system, but once people get into the league, the guys that everybody knows probably not going to make the teams, instead of having OTAs, right, have them play in like this league where people can maybe pluck out of before training camp. Now, coaches will hate this because the OTAs learning the system might be what makes a guy who's not that great of a player become an NFL player because he's going to get smarter, and I believe there's a very valid point for that. But the only way any of these leagues are going to work is if you get higher caliber players. Like that's gonna have to happen, right? And if not, it doesn't separate itself at all from any of the other options of football that aren't the NFL, college football, high school football, whatever people watch. I don't think it'll ever find enough of unless you can get higher quality football players. Personally, that's what I think.
Yeah, and you have to have some names in there too that people will know that they'll tune into it. And then once they get there, they're like, oh, okay, this is cool. I want to see it. The atmosphere, it's fun to watch. Like, you got to do something to kind of separate yourself.
Bro, there's no fans in the stands either. And
that's the tough thing. Yeah,
I didn't turn
I saw
on.
that
Yeah.
week one when I'm like, man, there's nobody there, and I felt bad because I'm like, even if they're playing great football, it's hard
to pay attention.
Anyone tuning in is gonna be like, what is this?
Yeah, because they didn't even pump in fake.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're pumping in fake sound.
Bring the COVID cutouts back, maybe. There
you go.
Oh yeah. Tonight's
you could buy it,
attendance.
you could pay for one.
Tonight's attendance: 27 beautiful people from Birmingham, Alabama, and 15,000 cardboard cutouts of chicken salad eaters from around the entire country. Remember when they announced how many cardboard cutouts were at the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah,
that's sweet.
30,
Did they really?
Yeah, they're like I think it was like 20-some thousand first line and first responders and everything. Frontline first responders, and then also 30,000 cardboard cutouts or something like that. And it was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for is that a Guinness World Record? Most cardboard cutouts in an area, I would assume, other than a warehouse.
I wish I owned all the Kinkos around that place that was printing those out.
Man, Kinko's probably had a great COVID run.
They raked in cash.
Oh my god.
So did the plexiglass people.
Oh yeah,
plexiglass.
because people were putting themselves in cages, basically.
Sex dolls in Korea, was it? The Korean Baseball League? They filled those up, the stands with those things.
Oh yeah, the sex dolls you're talking about.
Trent Dilfer fixed COVID, didn't he?
Well, he had that spray.
Yeah, the spray.
Yeah.
That
not
Merrill.
work.
No, Mel had different.
Merrill Hodge, I thought.
Hodge is doing math.
Yeah.
Mel was doing draft stuff. Trent Dilfer had to spray.
He had to spray. That's right.
He had to spray that. We have a spray here. It just kills COVID. We
Eliminates
spray it in
COVID.
there.
The Broncos had that little thing,
car wash
washing
field.
machine you could walk through. Yeah.
For like one day.
Those days were awesome. Well, it turns out the science actually said that shower was potentially spreading more COVID than washing it away because it was splattering off of people onto others, and COVID does like a good shower or something like that. Dude, all the shit, man. It's going to be tough to tell people that didn't experience COVID about all the dumb shit that happened during COVID.
Yeah.
Impossible.
It was to save our lives. You would never fucking get it. You weren't able to pick up cardboard boxes, not for a week. Nope. Not for a week.
We should order a history book in September just to see what the updated version says about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's going to be like definitions and shit of the COVID-19 entire.
Well, and Joe Exotic better at least get a page or two.
Absolutely.
Should.
And then also, The Last Dance needs to get a
Yep.
page or two.
Mm-hmm.
They were swearing on ESPN. They were saying fuck all over the place.
They were.
Speaking of saying fuck all over the place, that's what this guy does with his friends whenever I put in a super boost.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very intelligent Irishman, a very charming Irishman, but literally every day of our lives, we are trying to beat this man for all of the money.
Oh, yeah.
Head odds maker at FanDuel, the sports bookie book of FanDuel Sports Book, John Sheeran.
Yay!
What's going on, John?
Not a lot, Pat. That's certainly a big introduction, so I appreciate all the support. It's exciting for sure.
Well, personally, I think you're a good guy. Professionally, though, I want you to lose terribly every single day. So I am kind of torn. And every time I see you talk on Hammer, Dahn, you do fantastically, and you're rather transparent, which I don't think a lot of people are used to, especially when it comes to sports books, because it is, hey, you versus us. Ultimately, it's supposed to be gaming. It's in the gaming world. You're supposed to be playing against each other. So naturally, you're enemy, but good dude. So we're excited to talk to you right now. Thank you for joining us, John.
Yeah, happy to be here, Pat. Look, historically, it's been an adversarial relationship, like you said. It's us against you, and I think Tone had a lot of doubts about me being transparent. He was like, I don't know whether to trust what you're telling me or doubt it, but it's good that I finally outgrown that show because and this is the big time for sure.
Whoa.
Listen, Hammer Dahn did not deserve that.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Toad.
Yeah. Well, it sure sounds like
it's right. It's true.
Yeah, no. I'm sure they. Hey, so you still go on Hammer Dahn, or no? You still won't. You won't go on Hammer Dahn anymore. You graduated, or what?
I think I've graduated, Pat, after today for sure. Tone reached out to me a few months ago. He's like, we should do a section every week, and I was like, I'm more than happy to. And then I never heard from him.
Football
since.
season ended. Football season ended. It was football.
Yeah. Anyways, and they're also beating the dog shit out of you, I think, in the first half of MLB baseball, and they're enjoying all that. So they might not want to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah.
But anyways, your conversations with them have been so electrifying, which is why I'm excited to chat with you. Who do you know? What do you know about the first overall pick in the draft? Because this was startling numbers. We saw this literally as we woke up this morning on Friday. Okay, Aiden Hutchinson, minus 175 to go number one overall, has been the favorite to go number one overall by everybody since this entire draft season has begun. Minus 175, pretty good favorite, by the way. That's pretty good, feel pretty good about it. Travon Walker, plus 165. Now we wake up this morning, Travon Walker, minus 155 to go number one overall. Aiden Hutchinson now plus money to go number one overall. What the hell happened? Who do you know? And how is this information figured out and calculated in your end of this entire world?
So just to the last point first, right? The hardest thing for us is to form a really strong opinion, have a lot of confidence in the market and the price that we offer on any of these selections. The limits are reasonably low. Our confidence is equally low when it comes to being certain around what these positions will do and where certain teams will look to, Pat. So when we initially launched this market back in March and added Travon Walker, he was 30-1 to be the number one pick in the draft this year. As you said, Hutchinson's been a strong favorite since then. But overnight, we saw a real rush of really what I would say is respected money for Travon Walker. And normally with these markets, when you see a rush of money like this, it tends to tell a bigger story than even the bets themselves. So I would pay a lot of respect to the idea that Travon Walker will be the first pick on Thursday.
Who's respected money? I'm sorry, AJ was about to go there. Respected money is just because they talk about sharps. I'm sorry. And in your eyes, you guys know who the sharps are. You have to know who the sharps are. It's like, these motherfuckers seem to know something more than anybody else. And you're watching. It's like, at what point do you have to balance that reaction to them? Is that always?
Yeah, I think it's about knowing how strong your opinion is and how valid it is, Pat. In an NFL week, as I said to Tone on that secondary show that you have, all season long, all season long, we're happy to stand up against the Sharps where we feel like we have an advantage, where we feel like we have a strong opinion and understand where they're coming from. The draft and the number one pick and what certain teams will do in certain spots is certainly not one of those positions. So like I said, we'll pay more attention to the money that we see, the information that we garner from those bets when they come in. And to answer your question, who the Sharps are, these are accounts that historically have proven over time that they're able to beat us and win money off us. And that's effectively this type of money that we saw for Trayvon Walker last night.
Oh. So obviously you have a very important position there at FanDuel and what you're doing. Like, how do they safeguard against someone trying to corrupt you, like come in there and try to blackmail you, try to do anything to change all these lines? Because we know how much money is at stake here with especially what you're doing. Do you, just the CIA, you taking lie detector tests every month? Like, what's going on?
Well, especially with some of those juicy, some of the shit you've been giving out. Oh, John.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a job proposition from AJ first, and we can talk about that offline, AJ. Maybe that's the right way to tackle it.
Do.
Look, it's important, right? Integrity is important to all of us. We have regulators that monitor this. We monitor ourselves from a financial perspective. But I guess what I'm saying in a roundabout way is, for the price, I'm interested in anything you have to offer.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been in the odds-making game? Because it's not easy. Obviously, I don't speak to. We all, from certain areas, had friends who ran books or somebody else that ran books. We've basically all known somebody to do it. But do it at the level that you have to do it right now. Biggest book in the world. I believe FanDuel Sports is the biggest book in the world. You're the head odds maker. How long have you been doing this? And how many of yous are there out there, you think? Like, do you have respect for other odds makers? Do you watch what some other people do and you're like, maybe we should do that? Is there only a few of yous you think out there?
Yeah, look, I'm lucky. It's obviously a good position to be in with a brand like FanDuel to be able to express the opinions that we have and not get heat every week when we lose money. So how long have I been doing it? I don't know, Pat, far too long. Longer than my Twitter handle will indicate how old I am. But probably 15 to 20 years doing this overall. And in terms of respect, yeah, we got a ton of respect for a lot of operators out there, a lot of the books that take opinion and form markets. Certainly a lot of respect for what they do. And we pay attention to what they do as well to help inform the decisions that we make.
Who sets the tone, you think, the most? Do you feel like you're a part of that? Or does everybody else is it different? Like, there's some bookmakers have a better read on baseball and they better read on football at this department. Like, do you think that's all kind of mutually understood amongst each other? Or is everybody trying to create their own line and they all just so happen to be pretty similar?
Really good question. I think we try to lead when it comes to odds making and want to back our own opinions. We want to build a team here across all of the core US sports, Pat, that have a strong opinion, a valid one. And we want people in Vegas to look at what FanDuel are doing rather than the other way around. And that's what we started to do a good job with, I think, in football, the NFL, and college, and basketball too. We've got a bit of work to do to catch up on the other two core sports, but certainly encouraged, and that's certainly the end goal. So if you know anyone that's interested, be sure to send them my way.
All right, John. Okay. By the way, we don't know anybody as of right now, but the Hammer Dahn boys have been beating your guys' ass pretty good. Do you keep track of that? You have to.
Yeah. I mean, the guys are doing an awesome job. The amount of people that reach out to me and say, like, what a great job Tone and Gumpino do and all the boys. Yeah. Is it too late to go back now?
Yeah. To say sorry? Yeah, Bieber's just in town. He's on tour. Get tickets where it is. But I do believe it's too late to say sorry. The first 5 in MLB that the boys are hitting on, is that first half thing, I think is what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Do you monitor, like, hey, we're making good money off of those. Those are a great bet. Is there bets on there that you get very worried about? Like, these are tough to really set up, tough to do? Because FanDuel has so many fucking bets. I don't know how you guys, can stay on top of all of them, John.
That's 100% right, Pat. We can't. Like, there's a lot of opportunity there if you're selective, disciplined enough to pick out an edge that you might have and pound us on it. And I think the guys have done a good job with the first 5. We have a new baseball model, so we're still learning how it works. And the next time we're looking for a head MLB trader, I know where to go.
Gumpy, what do you got for John Sheeran? Anything sweet?
Yeah, John, can we get some more footy super boosts on there? Some of the ones are just a little bit outrageous. Maybe get some nice ones on there, huh?
Yeah, 100%. You guys control those, so whatever you want, just shout, and we'll be happy to facilitate.
Smart.
Well, that's great news. That's very good news. Did you guys lose your ass on Tyson Fury knocking out Dillian White? Because I enjoyed that so much. Specifically because he came on the show. He's obviously incredibly entertaining and awesome. And he talked about his dream outcome, right, would be, and I knock him out. And before he even hits the ground, I leave. I'm at the bar as they're announcing that I'm the winner. And at that point, we're like, okay, so he is trying to knock this dude out for sure. You boosted that thing for us from minus 135 to plus 110. And I'm not saying that it felt like a lot of people took this bet, but Tyson Fury is very popular. And if any of the betting trends that you guys have shared with us rang true for this particular fight, feels like this fight probably killed you guys a bit. Is that accurate? And what are the things that normally take you guys down? When a super favorite or a super popular does well, you guys just get fucking killed?
Yeah, anything that Pat McAfee puts up that wins usually kills us. So this one certainly fit into that criteria. Honestly, though, like he's an easy guy to root for, right? So I think everybody was motivated to get in behind him. And honestly, I think that bit of insight you got from him directly in that interview around his motivation to knock him out, I think that's insight that we could never be aware of. So I actually think that you got a bit of value in the right price, and then we boosted it even further. So all in all, it was a pretty good steal, a good interview. Like I said, everybody is easy to row in behind Fury, and yeah, that was a pretty expensive one and made for a bit of a headache for me on Saturday evening, so I appreciate that.
Hey, sorry about you not being able to sleep. Sorry about it. I slept soundly. Oh, yeah. I slept not as good as Dillian White. All right, anyway, guys.
John, as far as the NFL draft goes Thursday night, as far as handle and the amount of bets that'll come in through FanDuel, is it typical to like an NFL playoff, to NBA Finals? What's the handle like for the NFL draft, and how's it changed over the years?
Yeah, it's certainly getting bigger, Tone. And what I would say is that the regulators are getting a little bit more comfortable, allowing us to do more with the product. So we will, in New Jersey, for example, trade it live as the event is going on, but be 3 picks behind. So after the first pick, you can wager on the 5th pick and so on and so forth. So I think over time you'll see an evolution in how the product appears. We actually have like a version of Same Game Parlay where you can parlay 3 players to get picked in the top 5, and it'll calculate that on the website as well. So I think some good innovation, some good focus, but a key event for us, particularly now we're getting to that stage in the season where everyone's baying for football to come back. This is a good stop in the calendar, and excited to see what it does this year.
Can you explain to regulators a little bit? Because we obviously catch heat whenever we promote something and it can't be in some state. And I couldn't even imagine the amount of shit that FanDuel gets. You as a whole, you got to stay away from it. But there's regulators in every single state, and they are not the same. It is not uniform. It is not universal. Some places won't allow some boosts. Some places won't allow like player-specific boosts or whatever. Do you feel like as a whole it's getting easier to work with everybody? And how long do you think it is until the entire country is on board, even though that's probably way over your pay grade, if I had to guess?
Thanks, Pash. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're not a lobbyist. You're not a lobbyist, are you?
No.
Yeah. Like,
they try to get me to do everything, including this show. So, everything is in the realms of possibility. Look, you're right. It's really complex. It's difficult and different in every single state. We expect to be in probably 49 of the 50 states, Utah being the one that is going to be a challenge over the next decade or so. I think all of the regulators are at different stages in their comfort levels when it comes to sports betting. So it's just something that we continue to work closely with them. They've had a tough remit. They get handed down legislation and have to rule over it. But overall, I think people are all rowing in the same direction, Pat. And it's certainly getting better, but our footprint getting bigger causes more complex issues around what we can offer in certain states. But like I said, that's certainly a work in progress.
Yeah, I just assumed you weren't out there being the lobbyist in all these states. Like Ohio has to agree on it, has to let it be out before January 2023 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So everybody's assuming like by football season, Ohio would be off there. But from what I've been told, it's like it's not as easy as that. Like there is, especially there's a bunch of politics involved basically everywhere. And that's kind of where the regulators come in too, because they're appointed by the politicians. So it's like, it's an interesting world right now. We're kind of blazing a trail, it feels like, and you're a main part of that. Should feel good, Joel. John. Hey,
Yeah.
you feel good. Look at you.
I appreciate the props. A bit like my headshot on your tweet earlier, Pat. They don't really like to send me public facing very often. I think I have a bit of a face for radio is what I was told a long time ago, and I've fully bought in behind that.
Well, we just wanted people to fully understand who we were talking to. We are talking to the sports book.
That's right.
That is literally who we're talking to. So, no offense to you. I mean, although it was a very vanilla cast today.
Yeah, sure.
That would have been, you know what I mean? What we did think about was, hey, this is who we're talking to. We were talking to the sports book. So,
Mix it up.
I hope you didn't take any offense to that. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, John, do you have a group chat with all the other odds makers? And do you guys ever set lines that are just so wrong that you all feel like absolute clowns? And so you have to kind of lean on each other a little? Like, for instance, when the Brooklyn Nets came out as favorites to win the series against the Celtics, and then it immediately got flipped, were you guys all just like, wow, we were a bunch of stooges? Or you just kind of realized that, you know, you guys were all wrong?
That happens all the time. When you mentioned the WhatsApp group, I thought initially you were going to ask for an invite into it. You're more than welcome to join. I think it'd be pretty insightful to have some of you guys in there. But yeah, we get this. I was going to say we get this shit all wrong all the time. It's really difficult. We like Pat said earlier, we have to price so many markets over so many different sports with the same people. We make plenty of mistakes for sure, but it's about learning from them and not repeating them as we move forward, I think.
Did you say shit earlier?
I think I might have.
Don't say that on the show, please.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
FCC.
I'm going to get relegated back to Hammer Down.
Once again, hammered down.
Jesus.
Does not deserve
Great show.
Getting
It is a good
slaughtered
show.
today.
Go ahead, Dahn.
John, Tone mentioned that you guys have a lot of markets for, teams and like position specific where guys are going to go. Have you seen a lot of bets come in on that? And where do you have the most liability where, like if outside of a quarterback getting picked by like the Packers in the first round?
Yeah, good question. We have a lot of markets, particularly for the teams that are local to the areas that we're in. So I'll give you one bit of insight. The Jets at pick 10 is something we're pretty interested in, a wide receiver, potentially somebody like Jameson Williams to go there. That's one that we're trying to keep a little bit on side, not trying to attract too much money on that. That's obviously...
Hey, good spotlight. Good spotlight on that.
Here we go.
James Williams, the Jets.
I didn't say that. Thibodeau to go number 2 is certainly something that we've picked up a lot of heat on. I think obviously massively dependent on what happens with the first pick in Jacksonville, but that's one that certainly caught a lot of money. That's one of the biggest liabilities we have over the 3 days.
Hey, listen, the people that maybe hadn't heard you on the great show that is Hammered Down, you normally don't lie about this type of shit either, because the natural thought here is, oh, he's telling us that to bamboozle us.
Really in.
But he's not. This guy, he's not at all. He's told the truth on Hammered Down numerous times, much like at a high cost against FanDuel.
Yeah.
He's Irish. He's too nice, this guy.
You could ask him tonight who he likes in the NBA for the playoffs, and he'll tell you exactly what side the book likes tonight.
Yeah, who is the book very excited about this evening in this NBA playoffs? Like, who can't win in your eyes?
I don't know that we have a strong opinion at all. I think this is probably a game. I wouldn't have a strong opinion tonight at all, to be honest. I think Dallas have done a really good job on Utah. 3 is about right. Obviously, Luka coming back last night with the performance that he did, I think is strong, and that's probably our favorite of the 3, but not a night for a strong opinion. So I'm not going down on that ship on the big show today.
Hey, I respect it, and I also like the fact that if you're just listening, you don't get to see him. He is clicking on things, and he's literally just pulling up entire markets right behind the screen right now. It is awesome to watch. Go ahead, Foxy.
Yeah, John, that's why I wanted to ask you, what's the biggest sucker bet going right now? Because I've been taking these method of first basket. My money's gone at this point. Am I just an absolute sucker for that?
Dude, plus 7,000. How do you not take it?
God, have to.
How do you not?
The only thing I would say to that, Foxy, is you don't need any help. You found it on your own. Honestly, markets like that, we've got so much overround in our favor. It's really, really difficult to even think about winning money over time. It's just a big, big challenge.
Hey, what's the hardest sport to handicap for you?
I think for us, baseball or hockey, AJ, it's just one that we don't have the experience that we do for the other ones. NBA and NFL, part of the reason we feel so good about the product is we've been looking at it and trading it, pricing it for almost 20 years for the other brands internationally. It was super important to our brands in Australia. So we feel like we got a big jump on the industry with those two in particular. So the other two are ones that we're kind of learning, hiring a lot of local expertise. The trading team is built out to about 50 individuals here, and some of the guys are super smart, super enthusiastic, and have really good opinions, and that's what we want to encourage over time, I guess.
Yeah, what Nick gives out 45 hockey picks a night or whatever.
I'm trying. I'm coming for you, Johnny.
Yeah, Nick knows it's a weakness over there. We've been winning, I think, a pretty good amount.
There you go.
Yeah, they don't know shit over there. About
You guys don't know shit
Pens
about
are
hockey.
winning, Pens are winning the cup. They know that.
Vegas Dave, obviously, he gives out locks as well. I mean, that's obviously something. Gumpy has last question for you here, John. We appreciate your time.
John, we've talked about this a few times. How much money are you guys about to take in if the Nets get knocked out tonight with the futures bets?
Yeah, we were pretty aggressive with the Nets with the mess this season between Harden and Kyrie, and obviously Durant failing a little bit or maybe a lot in the series is a big challenge. And everybody still is willing to support him. He's such an incredible talent that it's not unusual to see that, and we've been raking in the cash as he's failed badly and Jason Tatum has taken over.
Awesome. I mean, all right, John. We appreciate you. Congrats on your success. Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Congrats.
I mean, it's fucking over, literally everybody else. Well, but congrats on your success, John. We appreciate you. You do a great job, man. You're incredibly cool. Thank you for coming on our show, making time to come on our show, as well as Hammer Dahn. Another great show, John. Another great show.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Tony, when Pat's finished me, I'm happy to come back anytime.
All right. John Sheeran, ladies and gentlemen. What a life. Heel. Good heel.
Yeah. Great delivery.
Great heel.
Dry humor.
We've been doing the NFL and the NBA for about 20 years, so we feel pretty comfortable about everything over there because the overall organization, Flutter, owns, I think, Europe's biggest book and Australia's biggest book as well as FanDuel. So it's like
unreal.
They've been doing it a long, long time. And in Europe, I think gambling was much more. I think it was happening at a much higher rate or whatever.
Well, that's why it makes sense with like baseball too, because like they have cricket over there, so they're not, like everyone watches the NFL, but like they have their own baseball over there. So why would they be super sharp at it over here?
So the first five, Gumpy's like, "Oh, welcome to America."
The
Canadian. Yeah, welcome to the Thunderdome of baseball, dude. He's a good guy. He is. I tried to talk shit to the book, obviously. Like, this is competitive. Hey, I'm trying to take your money. I'm trying to beat you. Like, literally. That's because they don't own our show. So we are just partners. So it was meant to be that way. Like, hey, I'm trying to take every dollar still. So every win is a real, genuine win from this company. We're looking to make all the money from this. Yeah. And the book guy, the head book, as soon as I met this dude, I'm like, oh, you're a super cool guy, man. Yeah. All right, listen, you just got to do what you got to do, I guess. He's really smart, though.
He's a good gambler.
He is a good gambler. Very good gambler. He gives out a lot of winners on Hammer Dahn.
Yeah, kind of a massive prick to Hammer Dahn, but he is a good gambler, and good to know that whenever the Super Boost hit, they are just getting absolutely robbed.
Absolutely. I get a couple pie graphs every once in a while, or pie charts, whatever those are.
Ooh, yeah.
And it'll be from FanDuel. Hey, we just want to let you know what your boost just did, okay? Congratulations.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
Is he ever off the clock? Like, that's a job I feel like he's never done.
Well, you got to deal with Europe too, right? So that's that 6 hours ahead?
6 hours, yeah.
I mean, like, in any kind of breaking news changes the lines. If a player goes down, all this stuff, like, you always have to be on top of it.
Yeah, he probably just lives. His office is probably his house. Like, he probably just lives there, right?
Yeah.
Probably has a great office, though.
Great blow-up mattress, too, I bet.
No, I bet you he has a full...
Yeah, nice height of bed.
Waterbed.
Just like what AJ said, probably a waterbed, yeah. Probably like he's in the ocean. You know
That'd be cool.
But just like AJ said, like that is a position where, like if he was to leave, probably a lot of money to be made for him as well. So he has to. Like he warrants probably a pretty good life. Because how much money is being wagered against him at any given moment.
Well, and you just talked about them like being on and all the time. Think about the live betting in New Jersey. Like if somebody goes second overall that they didn't think it was going to go second overall or whatever, and then they have to put up live odds for picks 6, 7, like it's going to be insane.
That's probably going to be a massive part of the draft spectacular, huh?
Yeah.
And going
now we just learned about it. By the way. We did not know this was happening until right now. And as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, going to be doing some of that, I guess, on the draft spectacular. Aaron Rodgers is going to be on draft spectacular, AJ.
Yeah. Wait, is he wearing his old Canadian tuxedo again?
I don't know. What is dress code? We'll figure that out.
To the nines.
Yeah, same as
it's draft spectacular.
Yeah, last two.
It's a fit off.
A fit off?
Yep.
We know Goomp loves that.
Well, Goomp's got good fits.
Oh, yeah.
Goomp's got a lot of good fits. He got a lot of good chains, too. That guy had 4 chains on the other day. Everyone was icier than the one before that, and the first one was very icy. Think about that. I mean, it got brighter as it went down. The thing was like a goddamn comet. Like a comet going down. It was unbelievable what Gumpy was rocking on his chest.
Feel Great Friday.
Hey, but Draft Spectacular Thursday night. I mean, let's go, boys.
Can't wait.
What do you got? You got your best cowboy costume coming
I
on?
was just thinking I don't have any fits that fit my current body right now. So.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, I think we are deciding to get back into shape, right?
Yeah.
Everybody-
Oh, yeah.
It was 82 degrees on Saturday, and I was
You
thinking,
guys look great. What are you talking about?
well, thank you, AJ. I've gained 30 pounds since WrestleMania. 17,
How many for real?
17, I think, 18 maybe.
It's impressive. The up and down,
Well, listen,
how quickly you can do it.
I appreciate that. But when you got Guy Fieri's garage shop and tanning salon available on DoorDash, I mean, I don't know.
What are you getting from him? What kind of food?
Just the shits.
I was gonna say,
I'm getting the runs for 4 days.
yeah. Don't you lose weight when you eat that because you're just leaking fuel for a long time?
It tasted delicious, though. I mean, I got a cheesesteak egg roll from him. There's some donkey sauce on the side.
Gangster.
Bro, I picked it up to eat it, and the grease just shot out of the back end through the plastic wrap.
Oh, yeah.
And then I dipped it in some cheese that was there, and then I put some ketchup and donkey sauce. I took one bite out of it, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm full. But no, I'm going in for 2 more big old boys.
Have to. That's actually like I think that's the number 1 item on the menu. It's just a bowl of soup of the grease.
From cheesesteak egg roll?
Exactly. And then I think they do squirt some donkey sauce in there as well.
But it's been a lot of that. It's been a lot of gangster eating this week.
Did he spit in the food like he spit in your face?
Well, Jason.
I'll make you famous.
Hey, dance. All right, let's get to a break. Jeez. He did kind of tell me.
Dance.
A little bit. Come on, what's your name? I'll make you famous.
A lot of celebrities in that VIP area that night.
All right, guy.
It's a different time, AJ.
Who else was there?
Oh, my bad. It was a different one.
I know what he's alluding to.
Yeah,
you know, he brings it up all the time.
Yeah.
It was not.
I thought this was the same night. My bad.
Different nights. Jared Fogle was on Wednesday, Broad Ripple, Indiana.
With Gary from Teen Mom.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, Gary from Teen Mom was the other person in the VIP that particular Wednesday.
Was he like hosting a party or something?
He had khakis on, I remember, with some J's. They looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Absolute legend.
I obviously had no idea who it was. So when I was introduced to him, I'm in a upbeat state. Hey, how we doing? This is Gary from Teen Mom.
Holy shit.
What, dude?
I think one of the episodes he was supposed to get diapers and he went to go buy a PlayStation instead.
Yeah.
Good move.
I think at that particular point, he was in the middle of some,
Oh, yeah.
there's some legal stuff going on.
She used to beat his ass on that show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do remember saying, like, hey, sorry about it, man, because somebody told me that.
Yeah.
Like Amber Turd?
Oh, that's getting juicy on the
Oh,
internet.
It really is.
Amber Turd was trending for 14, 15 hours.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. We'll talk about sports.
It's my favorite part of that story.
No shit.
It's electric.
Oh, I see you, Tone.
Oh, pretty good.
That's good shit. We're back in 4. 5-hour energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. Can't wait to chat with everybody. This sports show continues. What is going on in sport? Oh, T4. Fuck.
Yes.
4 minutes until episode 5.
Woo, let's go.
Of T4, season 3, Tiny Buckets Tasty Tournament Talk.
Hell yeah.
What's
Can't
going
wait.
on in the NBA playoffs? Then we'll answer some phone calls. Then we'll wrap up this Monday, April 25th. Golly, things just got great. We'll see you at 4.
I put most of my success down to masturbation 7 times a day.
You got this guy. You can
Honestly.
pop. You can really pop.
Got to keep that blood pumping, baby.
Oh, that's amazing. Is that why you think you throw such bombs? Because what you've been accused of having what shit in your gloves and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
What's that all about? That's because you're.
And the only thing I've been loading is testosterone from all the wanking over the years.
I saw that in what was that show? What was that? There was that show,
Mythbusters?
Mythbusters did it with a boxer actually, because the old myth was if you
Women weaken legs.
Yeah. Beforehand, then they did on Mythbusters like, no, actually, you get more testosterone immediately afterwards. It makes you stronger. You've been doping testosterone with your right hand, huh?
Wow.
Going to town on yourself.
Right hands and left hands, depending on what I feel like.
We saw the animal of Scott Stevens on the ice. You get on the bus, he has his glasses on, he's reading a book, he's got the little light above him on. and it's like a different human being.
For some reason, though, that makes it even more intimidating.
It's more creepy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was game 6. He hits Korea. Korea comes back, scores. We lose that game, forces game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And Scotty's next to me, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm just like, that was probably the biggest hit I've ever seen. I mean, he, like, honestly, I'm not joking. Like, for the fans that haven't seen it, he could have killed him. Like, it was like a great hit, but at the same time, you're like, you feel weird because I'm like, someone could have died. Like, that's how bad it was. So Korea's out cold. The video, when you look it up, he's got his visor down in his face. And all of a sudden, he just snaps and just goes like this, and like he just comes to, and then you see his breath fog up his face shield. He goes to the locker room, and nowadays this would never even happen because he'd be in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Goes in the locker room. Like, I thought the guy was fucking dead. And he comes back, roofs one over Marty Berdore's shoulder. Place goes bananas. We're on the bus. Scotty's got his book open. He's reading his book. Like, just another day at the office, right? Shout out to Evgeny Malkin.
Another day at the office.
Just lean over him and I go, "Hey, Scotty," I'm like, "You really got him, huh?" And he puts his book down and he leans towards me and he goes, "You know what, Rupper?" He goes, "I let up at the last second." And I go, and I'm like leaned over and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I lean back. I'm like, "Holy fuck." He's like, "I saw at the last second that he had no idea I was there." And he goes, "I didn't like follow through with, like, I didn't like give him the extra boom." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's scary." Today's show is presented by Cash App. Ooh. That's right. Cash App is the best finance app on the planet. It's the easiest way to send money to your buddies or to people that you might owe money to.
Oh, bookies. Illegal.
No.
No.
What? Etsy. I mean, there's just.
Oh,
we're talking about purchasing things.
Okay.
Etsy is
Jeez, Louise. Etsy is incredible.
They got everything.
They do. Not as much as like Amazon. Amazon literally has everything.
Has true.
They actually have
like
everything.
handmade products.
Yeah, but anyways, you're not. Yeah. Handmade specialty stuff.
Woodworking.
Yeah, unique stuff.
Yeah. Woodwork.
I'm not even sure if you're allowed to use Cash App on there, but if you are, you should.
If you know the guy.
Yeah,
You might.
or lady.
Yeah.
Or
And
lady.
sometimes people have them as like, hey, you can cash at me. Here's my code.
Yeah, bingo.
Shout out.
Cash App is the easiest and best way to
Easiest
do
way to
everything.
do it.
Yeah.
And you can buy and sell stocks and Bitcoin on there.
Wow. Bitcoin?
With as little as $1. Yeah, just a piece of a stock or a piece of Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah,
One
honestly.
trillionth of a Bitcoin?
That's what you can do. And keep an eye out for Big Winner Wednesdays because that's when we announce alongside Cash App all our winners from the previous week's giveaways. Big Winner Wednesday. Everybody look forward to it. Brought to you by Cash App. And if you aren't on Cash App yet, go ahead and log on. To be a part of any of our contests, you have to be. And use code McAfee to get a free $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code MCAFEE for a free $15. Terms apply, though.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Terms apply. Shouts to Cash App. We do appreciate them. They've made our life a lot easier with the giveaways. And by ours, I mean like, CFO Phil and them
Right.
who have to kind of figure it out behind the scenes. Shout out to them. Shout out to you for watching here on this Monday, April 25th. Just shortly after John Sheeran made his appearance on this show, the head odds maker for FanDuel Sportsbook, the second overall pick market has been locked completely for the draft.
Whoa.
Remember, he told us that they're eyeing some sharps, and what they're seeing money do is how they're reacting. Trayvon Walker now the favorite to go number one overall on FanDuel Sportsbook when it had been Aiden Hutchinson in for like 3 months at this point. Fascinating in, development here as we get closer to the draft spectacular. Just 3 days away, AJ Hawk.
I would assume this is going to change, right, between now and probably Thursday afternoon?
I believe this is going to change before now and tonight and tomorrow morning, and then again and again and again. I believe we are going to be on a roller coaster of opinions because does Trent Baalke even know what he wants to do, or is he just how he's swaying one day, how he's feeling one day? You would think the sharp money is sharp money for a reason, and John Sheeran respects them for a reason. They would have some sort of information that would lead them to believe the Walker's going to be the pick. But do any of us know anything other than Baalke might see a little bit of Alden Smith in him and might want him for the Jaguars? Who knows? That's the wildness of Draft Spectacular. There's a lot of insane shit going on all around the globe in the sports world, but there's only one show that has been shaking it up all over the place.
That's right. Damn right.
There's one show that has swept the sports globe because it is so innovative, entertaining, and intelligent that no matter what the playoff or tournament it is the authority on breaking it all down. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Season 3, Episode 5 of T4 Tony Buckets Tasty Tournament Talk. Yay! Tony, what's going on in the NBA?
Thank you, Pat. A lot to recap.
Happy birthday, Coach Dix.
Happy birthday, Coach.
Happy birthday, Coach. A lot to recap. A busy and exciting weekend in the NBA. So we'll just run through the series and let you know what's happening. The Heat are up 3-1 over Atlanta. I mean, there was a buzzer beater from Trey on Friday night, Saturday night to get them that one victory, but they are throwing everything at him, and Jimmy Buckets had a big game for Miami's up 3-1. Philly's up 3-1 after Toronto got
Same
a win.
Coach in Miami as when Braun was there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Spo.
Eric
Spoelstra. Very good basketball coach.
Yeah, he's got staying power.
He does have staying power. Philly's up 3-1, and Embiid's going to have surgery on his thumb after the season. He is not a baby back bitch. He is going to play until the end of the season. So that's what we're looking at there for Philly and Toronto. Bucks are up 3-1. Middleton's out, and that scumbag Grayson Allen has stepped up in his absence. So Bucks are okay there over the Bulls, who stink. Boston's up 3-0.
Hey, Grayson was working with Lethal Shooter.
Well, really? He has lethally been shooting.
Yeah, he's been working with Lethal Shooter. He is probably going to get buckets from now until the end of time.
And I said scumbag, but only some people think that because he kicks people sometimes.
Well, he trips people. I think he does have some.
Crusoe's
I think he
arm.
does potentially have some scumbag tendencies.
Maybe
he's grown out of them.
As we talked about, Boston's up 3-0.
Oh, yeah.
And that's I think Ramadan's kind of fucking with Kyrie.
They fucking stink.
And they're getting clamped to Ben Simmons, as we said, potentially a bitch made cat.
Is that everything?
No. Suns are tied 2-2.
Hold on, they're playing tonight, right?
Yeah,
Celtics.
yeah.
Nets?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a fire.
Nets are 1 point favorite.
Fire
I
alarm went off earlier.
Get the fire extinguisher.
One of those Glade.
Nets are 1 point favorite, I believe.
Incense.
Suns are 2-2 with New Orleans after Book's out. Chris Paul scored 4 points yesterday. He kind of and Brandon Ingram's had a really good series, so they're tied 2-2. I mean, it would be nice if Zion maybe came back and played.
I think Zion can still play, right? I think that's everybody.
He did it through the legs the other day. Also, Brandon Ingram drafted after Ben Simmons.
True, and
something to think about.
And LeBron traded Brandon Ingram away.
Your keyboard's on fire.
I was checking it out. It's incense.
So, like, if LeBron wouldn't have traded Lonzo and Brandon Ingram away, would he have made the playoffs this year? Probably.
Because he has better players at role positions that he needs better players at. But he's the one who made the roster moves, even though there was a little bit of a disagreement. They're all the way back. He's on vacation dancing.
That's right.
That's a good part of T4.
They won a title, too. So.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Luka, also not a bitch made cat, came back and scored 30, I believe. So I believe that series 2-2 between the Mavs and the Utah Jazz. Golden State's up 3-1. Jokic, the Joker, got 37 last game. They got one. So we'll see. What?
Hey, he's a player. He actually called out the lob. I seen Jokic say, hey, probably run that lob play.
Defending MVP, I believe he probably will win it again this year. And then the final, Memphis is 2-2 with Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns showed up and fucking scored 30 after they were saying he was a bitch made cat after the last game. So very interesting stuff.
Great work on it.
Hell yeah, Tony!
That's good.
That was really good.
Love it.
AJ, any follow-up questions for Tony Buckets Tasty Tournament Talk?
Yeah, Tone, who's going to win it all?
Great question.
Warriors are the favorite in the West, followed by the Suns and the Jazz, or Memphis. Sorry, Jesus.
Still the Suns?
Yes.
Yeah.
People still have faith in them.
They think if they could get by New Orleans, Booker will come back and then they'll be fine. And in the East, the favorites are the Boston Celtics.
Hiya! Oh,
really?
Oh yeah.
What if the Nets come back and win?
Hey, the Nets. Did you watch that game? This is the first time I watched the whole game. I watched the Nets Celtics. Boy, Celtics look like a much better team than the Nets.
Yeah.
I mean, much better. I mean, it is very obvious. And Kyrie talked about them gelling because they've been together the entire season. Obviously, the internet said, well, Kyrie, why haven't you guys been able to gel all season? Can you riddle us that? And obviously, the answer is because Kyrie's stance on the vaccination and the protocols in New York have made it obviously impossible for him to play home games, and it was a clusterfuck of a season that went through there. But the entire conversation about if you watch those games, the Celtics are just like, they're on a string almost, that team.
Yeah.
It's awesome
defense
to
is
watch.
crazy.
Yeah.
People try to claim they don't play like defense in the NBA. If you actually watch, like, it is so difficult to get one bucket in the NBA. And look what they're doing to Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it is awesome to watch the Boston Celtics operate.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and that's exactly what I was going to say too. Like, we play big boy defense, and if there are, KD and Kyrie, we bang them around. We match up with every team. We're already, thinking about Giannis and the Bucks.
Hey, Giannis, every time they go to the TNT crew, they say that's the best basketball player on earth right there. Giannis, best basketball player on earth. Jokic is getting the second MVP back-to-back years. And then Steph is all the way fucking back. And Tatum over there is yoked.
Up.
Hey, he's only 24.
I was just going to say,
Really?
do you know he just turned 24 in March?
With that being said, the NBA average age is 26. So, 24 definitely younger than that, but also
kind of right in
the average age of the NBA.
And not many guys playing at his level at 24, though.
He's very good.
Very good. Jaylen Brown, drafted after Ben Simmons, also very good.
Oh, this is like the
keep in mind
Mitchell Trubisky, Patrick Mahomes thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
is that what you're trying to do right now?
No, if I was going to do that, I'd do it with Tatum because the two guys drafted before Tatum are Lonzo Ball and Markelle Fultz.
Well, Zoe's a baller.
Oh yeah,
hasn't played since last season, but he's a baller.
Well, neither is Ben Simmons, but that guy ain't never gonna play. Where's Zion?
Where's Zion?
What the fuck's going on, dude?
Series is tied.
Zion wants to play. Ben Simmons doesn't. Is that what's coming out?
Kinda.
Feels like
That's how it seems.
Why don't we get Zion to Brooklyn?
There we go.
Okay.
Send Ben back home.
Where's
New Orleans.
Zion to Boston.
Send, I don't know if he's loved down there, by the way everybody was talking.
They didn't win much in LSU.
No, he quit on his team.
What is the deal with this guy? Well, I still don't think we know enough about him to talk about him. Chris Mad Dog Russo will, though. He's next. Got it.
Oh, nailed it.
Got it.
Do any of Ben Simmons' teammates ever stand up for him?
No.
I'm not sure.
Never.
None of them. The current roster has not buried him, though. Right? Steve
Well,
Nash.
it's kind of
hasn't-
hard when he's on the squad right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Like Steve Nash. I honestly believe Steve Nash, whenever he said, it's news to me, he was coming back on Monday. I think that's Steve Nash being like, have you guys talked to this guy? I don't think he's anywhere near playing basketball ever again. The way he's, the way he's handled this entire thing, his mind.
Are you talking about, is it partly because of how he's like in the middle of the bench and standing up a lot of times and like he's very visible during the game?
Yes, and he's dunking, making people film him dunk and doing all this stuff, but then he's not playing because of soreness, which happens to everybody. It has to be more.
So he got through his last workout was. He woke up the next day and said he felt sore, so that's what shut him down for Game 4.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So he got through the workout though. He didn't have to cut it short.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a telltale. Like if you can get through the workout, you would think right before you're about to take the court,
you can get through the game.
I would think, okay, here we go.
Well, to your point.
Sorry about that. So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say to your point, like he could have come out and just been like, "No, my back still hurts. Like I'm probably not going to be ready for Game 4." But he kind of just let this narrative keep getting built. That,
And by the way, not his fault that everybody's talking about his comeback, but also, when it was the first time ever, I think I've heard. Like, hey, his mental health isn't right for him to come back and play. At that stage of it was whenever he was with the Sixers. He was able to practice on a daily basis with them in the same building, but his mental health wasn't good enough to play. And then the entire city and everybody turned on him completely. And then he gets traded out of there. It's like, okay, he's out of the situation that was too toxic for him to really be able to thrive. We didn't want to judge him as a human then, but now that is kind of subsided, right? And now it's the back soreness. It's like there's multiple things. It's just like, I don't know. None of it really makes sense. there's no way he lacks any competitive fire at all because he made it to the NBA. So he has to have some sort of competitive juice, right?
Yeah,
he would think he would have to.
But I mean, if you're
what if he doesn't? Though?
Yeah, if he doesn't, and if you're in the Nets organization, like if they still had James Harden, this series would 1,000% not be 3-0. Like that's the biggest fuck up for them. Is like, hey, we traded away one of our best players for Ben Simmons because he's a good piece, and now this guy comes over here, and we were talking about him playing against the Sixers in March, and now it's almost the end of April. He's not even playing in the playoffs. Like it's a joke.
COVID just completely derailed that Nets team.
Absolutely.
What could have been if Kyrie's playing, does James Harden hate Brooklyn as much as he allegedly didn't like to be in Brooklyn? I
don't know.
I don't know. TBD. What we will find out about is what will life be like with Twitter being privately owned by an alien that has come from another planet to ours to change it in every single way.
Hell yeah.
Breaking news out of CNBC, which I believe is the business arm of NBC. Twitter announces it will go private after agreeing to deal with Elon Musk worth $44 billion. Wow. Congratulations to all parties involved.
Yeah.
Now, Elon did start Twitter fingering his way into this conversation because of his lack of trust or respect for the way that Twitter has been operated, because Elon uses Twitter on a very regular basis. Elon is a very good Twitterer, and I think Elon has massive amounts of respect for the platform that is Twitter. Now, whenever he started putting out polls on whether or not he should fucking just buy this thing, that is when I really started being enjoyed by the process of a $44 billion purchase seeming to have started by a troll, and in troll fashion now happening. Now, it depends on who you listen to here, because there were people that were not happy about the thought of Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Yes. Nope.
People were not happy.
A lot of people leaving, right? A lot of people leaving Twitter.
Oh, really? This is happening? This always seems to happen every election year.
They claim they will.
Election year, everybody's always moving if something happens, and then somehow our population continues to go up, not down. I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's an interesting.
How's it going to change now? How's Twitter going to change?
Well, that's the thing. Like, he has to put together an entire fucking operation, because if he is worried that it is a tainted platform, which is why he wants to purchase it, I believe, because he believes that people's free speech has been hindered by the platform and the way it operates. And then remember, it was like a Saudi prince or something that came, or the Saudi kingdom came out and said, yeah, we're not selling, whatever you think. So then Elon asks, so Saudi is actually the ones that get to decide if Twitter sold or not, and then it became an entire thing. And then it seemed like a lot of media people were not happy about Elon buying Twitter, and then it felt like a lot of people that are on Twitter a lot kind of happy that Elon was buying Twitter. So I feel like, just like everything on earth, people go to who they trust to get their opinion, and then they get their marching orders and they come back and they just yell. And then they just yell against each other. And inevitably, it doesn't matter, because things are just going to happen whether you yell or not. So I have no idea what this means. I hope Elon makes it better. But there's a lot of people that are pissed off about it that I did not see coming out. And that really took me by surprise, that Elon buying it, a man who's made his home in America, a man who has built like 7 or 8 different billion-dollar ventures, who has been very successful, who has invested in Twitter, him owning it would be bad. I guess they just think you could control what gets out there if it's privately owned instead of publicly owned, but hasn't that already been happening? I don't know. I'm very confused by it all, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to see how this all plays out. But if we know anything, like, free speech is not going to be. It's going to get better with Elon there. It's not going to be worse. Whatever side you're on, like, it seems like he wants to have everyone's opinion. Elon seems to be pissed that they silence people.
Well, hopefully, yeah, but that's what. Obviously, they all had the power to silence people, allegedly. The thing is, now, what if Elon wants to silence people? That's what everybody started thinking, I think.
Yeah.
Is there any right answer? No, but it does feel like everything Elon's saying about Twitter is exactly what we would all hope Twitter would be, which I would hope Twitter would be, because then maybe it'd be a little bit more, like a football locker room.
Oh, right. Okay.
Where everybody gets to learn about everybody. And although you might not agree, you can agree to disagree and move about and say, hey, you know what, I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You grew up in goddamn Hawaii. We might have a differing opinion on something, but we can move on and still be able to operate. I think that's Elon's goal, but boy, oh boy, it's going to be difficult. I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that is what free speech means.
Yes.
Elon is championing championing free speech. And I think the only people that are pissed off about it are the people that are thinking that, he won't be true to his word. But all those people were always true to their word. So that is something that we should take very seriously. You know what I mean?
How much does him buying Twitter affect you on a day-to-day basis?
Well, if he changes it, if he has an edit button, and I live on Twitter. So if he gets an edit button where I could change 1 or 2 characters after something goes, and I accidentally, instead of my phone auto corrected it to we're. So my sentence looks like I am a doofus. You know, when I was at like something were something, and now it says something we're something. So if he puts an edit in there, and I can go in and just that apostrophe or whatever the fuck it is, like that'd make my life a lot better.
For sure. But like, I feel like ours is kind of a special case because it's a massive part of the job. But like a lot of these people who are bitching about this, like, do you really think that now that Elon owns Twitter, like professionally their careers are just over?
I kind of talk about this with, with like Tone Diggs, for instance. And Tone, this might sound like a shot. It's not supposed to be. You are just the person in my group that does it. With that being said, you don't deserve anything that's about to happen. So Tone wore the same shirt for every Steelers game for a long time. And he thought if he didn't, the Steelers would lose. And I said to Tone, well, goddamn, aren't you important? You know, like that is a lot of confidence to say, hey, the shirt that I choose to put on is going to decide whether or not Ben Roethlisberger goes out there and throws 6 touchdowns or not.
Sure.
Like everybody that wants to change everything, I feel like their amount of confidence for how important they are is something that none of us could ever fathom. It feels like people that are so small get so upset about things that would never affect them just so they can feel like they're a part of a larger community, right? And hopefully Elon's able to fix that problem where people don't just say things just to say things so they feel accepted. And I don't know how you fix that. But if anybody's going to fix it, our local alien, fucking Elon Musk, will hopefully be able to do so. But people are not happy about it.
No.
At all.
Hopefully he can fix too when you're just getting tweets from like 18 hours ago just popping up in your timeline behind like a tweet from 2 minutes ago. So you really
that's the stuff I think he will. I think he'll want to take care of that stuff right away.
Well, because that is the algorithm picking and choosing what people get to see, which is exactly what he wants to go against, right?
Yeah.
Because that's my big problem. Twitter is supposed to be a live feed of the daily events of what's going on. The people I'm following, I'm picking to follow them because they are going to update me as the day goes on shit. Once that algorithm in their AI, which probably none of them know about or control or have any, because I watched that one documentary and they're basically like, the computer is just trying to accomplish a task that they put in there. We'll do it by any means. However they can keep you on the platform as long as possible, that's a success for the computer. And the artificial intelligence now behind these algorithms figures out shit to do, right? It figures out what to do by itself. So whenever you ask some of these people at these companies, allegedly, this is like a former Google exec, a former Amazon exec, I think, and a former maybe YouTube or maybe, I don't know. They had a bunch of execs on there that they don't even understand what the fuck the algorithm's doing. They're like, oh yeah, the algorithm just kind of does what it thinks is best. So whenever like these tweets started showing up from 2 days ago, like, hey, you haven't seen this. I guess it's because those tweets performed well, but Twitter is supposed to be an active place. Right. So I don't understand. That would be something I think Elon could fix, right? If you just tell the algorithm, hey, we don't want to fucking do that anymore. Let's keep this thing updated.
Well, I remember the days when you would get home from work and you would scroll back and 6 hours and be like, all right, I saw the tweets from the last 6 hours, and now I'm all caught up. There was no algorithm. There was just the
let me go through the day here.
Yeah.
Yeah. People will hate everything, though. Any change to anything.
Even if it's better.
If he could stop people from giving their opinions on there, it'd be great.
It's a political thing. That's why people, there's sides to it. Everyone, they assume Elon's on the side. I'm sorry, Diggs, I didn't hear you.
No.
What did he say?
Well, he said if he could stop people from giving opinions, I think is what he said, right? That's what Twitter is, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's completely against.
That's what he wants to preserve.
But I guess people much smarter than us are all mad at him. And you're saying it's because of political power reasons? No.
I think, everything's political. Everyone views Elon as on some certain side and the other, whatever, which I don't know what side Elon is on. He's not from here. He wasn't born in America, but I don't know. I did see his new Austin Tesla Gigafactory. That thing looks like it's the size of Rhode Island probably. It's gigantic.
Hey, Rhode Island, pretty good state, but if I can buy a car that's the size of Rhode Island, I think I'll hop in, especially if I'm saving the world, which was what Elon Musk's latest beef was with old William Gates, because William Gates bought a short on Tesla.
Oh, this was awesome, man.
Awesome. Basically betting that Tesla would stink and fail. And Bill Gates was supposed to be this big save the world guy, but he was banking and betting and putting a large amount of money on Tesla, which is transforming the entire usage of gas and oil and everything, I think, in the cars, while making cars faster than any car in history, quicker than any car, most efficient car in history.
Yep. Mhm.
And Bill Gates was betting against it, and Elon must have seen that, and he know, this guy is supposed to be for the world, but he's betting against us. We'd be doing more for the world than anybody else. And then he gets on a Twitter beef with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
He's loose on there. I appreciate it.
It's awesome. I mean, the fact that he just can all of a sudden say, hey, I'm going to buy this 44 bill. Here you go. I'm going to take it over. Like that. That's a pretty good move.
How many different companies is he taking to $1 billion? I think 5. Is it 5?
Did he start with PayPal? Was he one of those guys with them?
Yeah. And if he wanted to, he'd be able to, like SpaceX now is like the rocket ship company. Tesla, he just gave the patent away to everybody to build their own Teslas. Now every other car has, look at this new sleek, fast electric car. It's like, well, that's only because Elon said, hey, here you go.
Yeah, here's how you do it.
Here's how you do it. Go ahead and take it. We got too much money, too many cars. We can't keep up with everybody. You try to buy a car right now, you'll get that in 3 years because we've sold too many of them. If you could help us out by making your own, that'd be fantastic. I feel like he's a G, but man, for some reason, there's a lot of smart people that do not like him. And I guess it's just because he's a billionaire. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, he smoked pot. I mean,
no, he did not. He did not smoke that.
He didn't smoke the pot. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I mean, he put it in his mouth. I mean, that look like a robot.
Smoked like a cigar, sure. I mean, I think it'd be sweet if, he started just plugging Tesla in Twitter. Like if you're scrolling through and you just got a Tesla ad right there every 5 or 6 tweets. I think that's what he should do, just to piss those people off even more.
Flamethrowers come.
Yeah.
Go 2-3 scrolls back. Here's the best flamethrower, only $700 or something like
Keep
that.
scrolling, use PayPal.
Boom, boom. Keep scrolling. You want to go to space?
Boom.
SpaceX.
We can do it.
Just turns into a full Elon Musk company's advertising, which is probably what people are thinking maybe happened.
Well, weed out the frauds, and then you get rid of it, and like, hey, let's make this app, the greatest app on the internet again.
Twitter is awesome, though.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't ruin it. He won't, right? No.
I don't think so.
Can't.
Has he stunk at anything?
Has he what?
I think so.
Stunk at anything.
I'm sure there's certain things, but nothing publicly that I've seen.
Well, I don't know what you meant there. I'm talking business-wise.
Yeah.
I've never seen
I don't
him
know.
throw a
I'm sure
football.
he's had stuff fail.
He probably can't throw a football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances this dude takes, I'm sure some things have failed. That's the only way you can do unbelievable things.
He was
if
with
you
Amber
go out
Turd
there.
for a while.
Yeah, that was
true.
What was?
That's personal, though. I'm talking
Yeah, you're right.
professional.
I think
No, he built like 250 of those things. The flamethrower?
Turd.
That was a success. He's talking about
Yeah, I
Amber,
know.
Amber Heard.
Oh, yeah, he was messing with Amber a little bit?
A little bit.
Well, that's personal, though. We need to.
Did they bring that into trial?
I don't know. They're going into the second week. There's a lot to talk about there. I saw a tweet that asked a very good question. How come we're hearing all this from Johnny and Amber, but nothing from Ghislaine?
Yeah, it's interesting.
What happens?
That was
They didn't put that one on TV.
Yeah, didn't they make that closed to the public?
It's the judges,
because of
for at
the-
least, I think the judge's decision whether they can air it or not a lot of times.
So are Johnny and Amber getting paid for their roles in this, or no? This is just.
I don't know. I know the Ghislaine one. They said they
They're
had
paying
to
a
keep
lot.
that closed because some of the information. But did you see the Johnny Depp thing about Disney?
No.
He said if Disney offered him $300 million and 1 million alpacas. I don't know why it's 1 million alpacas.
The guy likes alpacas.
He likes
Yep.
okay.
Yeah,
He
alpacas.
said he would never work with Disney again, even if they offered him that to make another Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
What happened?
So yeah, that's the question people are asking.
They bought the
What
rights to it, right? Because that wasn't originally who made the Pirates of the Caribbeans, right? They recently bought the rights to that.
No, I think they've
They
had it a
always
while.
had it.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Jack Sparrow.
There's a theme park ride.
Yeah.
At Disney World.
Is it good?
Pretty sweet. If it's a hot day, you get down there and you get to go in the boats and it's cool. It's a nice little,
cool you off.
Johnny Depp hates it.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
He's not happy that you were able to do that.
Yeah, but that was before he was Jack Sparrow.
I wonder how Jack.
What?
What?
Yeah, that thing's been around long before fucking Johnny Depp was
Really?
Jack Sparrow.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
What?
It's the movie was I think based on like the theme park ride.
Wow.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Jesus. Is that same thing that happened with the Avatar ride down there? Because that's a great
No,
ride.
see they made that ride based on the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jesus. Did you know that? What you said there?
I didn't know there was a ride.
Me neither. Well, I didn't know that the movie that is.
Is that the one in Florida or California?
Florida.
It's World, not Land. World down there in Florida. Land over there in Cali.
It might be in California too, though. It might be at both now.
Well, I mean, if this motherfucker's starting a movie, I'd
Yeah.
assume it's in every Disney home they got.
Jesus.
Jeez Louise. Something going on with Disney right now.
Yeah.
Really? What?
Yeah, down Florida.
I know CNN Plus is killing it.
Yeah, they slaughtered the game.
All right, let's go to the phones.
What a risk. I mean, it's a risk. That's a weird world, man. I give them. They tried.
They gave it a go. You know, people will pay
300
for
mil,
this.
they said.
People will pay for this.
Oh, Rex will be all right.
Shut up.
People will pay for this. Isn't that something? That's a
Isn't that
decision
something?
That's the decision you have to make right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People will pay for this, and when you get to that confidence, I respect it. I honestly do.
Yeah.
Because this show's free, and I think to myself, people will not click a button to get to this.
No way.
I honestly believe that. But whenever you go, no, this deserves to be behind a paywall. With how much free shit is in the world right now, how much free shit is in the world right now, to go behind a paywall, strictly behind a paywall, I think is a very confident decision. And some have succeeded in that. It feels like there's a lot of L's in that particular game, though, and CNN happens to be the quickest in history.
Well, and I feel like once you spend that much money, like I don't care how much money it was costing them to keep that thing running, you at least gotta send it out there for a couple more months. You cannot just be like, okay, fuck it, it doesn't
That
work.
new guy
Kill it
came
now.
in though. New guy came in. They were bought by Discovery and shut it down.
Who was the new guy? Was he that guy with dark hair on the morning show?
Oh, yeah.
Corey?
Was it Corey? Did Corey come in and have a whole plan? Corey's good talking.
Yeah, he was a UBS Plus guy too. I really want to know who the CNN Plus guy was.
I think it was based off of that.
CNN Plus did not do well. To be clear, I did not know it was up. I had no idea it was even a thing. What they have on there?
I watched a few of Rex's shows. They're pretty good.
Rex Ryan's doing.
Their anchors did like their own little talk shows on there, I guess.
No, Rex Chapman had one on there. I watched a few of them.
Oh, Rex Chapman had a show on CNN Plus?
Yeah.
Blocker charge?
It was not called that, I don't think.
What?
I don't want to say that that's the show that ended at CNN Plus, but I'm not going to rule against it either.
What is your deal?
Jeez.
What is your deal? What is your deal?
What do you mean?
What was his show? Was it Blocker Charge?
I think it was just other shows he collected and gathered, and then he kind of talked over top of them.
It's like clips of The Simpsons, then clips of Family Guy. and-
Oh, that's kind of
That was
sweet
good,
though.
Nick. That was good.
And then he just kept yelling at people to put their fucking mask on.
Right.
Jeez,
All
Tony.
right. All right.
While we were watching
Listen.
his show in the comfort of our
I'm
homes.
happy for any ex-athlete. I'm happy he got a show on CNN Plus. But to follow up, I had no idea CNN Plus was a thing.
It was only a thing for 3 weeks.
Zito said, "Here's a photo of his show." All right, so I guess Rex Chapman, CNN Plus, new episodes Mondays. CJ in a little bit more.
Can we see it somewhere else now?
He's got a lot of Howie Mandel in him.
Rex Chapman has experienced the highs of NBA stardom and the lows of addiction. He goes deep in his discussions with celebrities, athletes, and everyday heroes. Oh, it's a podcast.
It's a podcast, yeah.
Oh, okay. Trying to have a real
Put it on
conversation.
YouTube. If it's on YouTube, it'd be great.
It's interesting that he's sitting in that car with somebody and not wearing a fucking mask.
He recorded it before COVID.
How come you didn't care about Mel Kiper not being vaccinated?
Who?
Rex.
Jesus.
Is
All
Mel
right.
not vaccinated?
I didn't
Well, he's not
expect-
allowed to be at the draft. so-
Well, I mean,
I didn't expect Rex Chapman to get sawed down.
he did not deserve it.
Jeez.
Yeah, he does.
Well, a lot of people
idea.
say he does actually,
Sure.
but Rex, you know, I mean, here's the political waters.
Sure.
Rex decided. I mean, that's why he's on CNN Plus. He just, I mean, he wanted
Cannonball.
all the way in.
Yeah.
How much? $6 a month, CNN Plus.
That's it?
That seems like that would be an amount that would just slip by in the automatic renewal. People are like, no, well, let me look at my. No, I ain't doing that one. Give me
They had to go
Netflix
find
raising
it though.
that
They
price.
you had
Yeah,
to go find it and buy it just for that too. Like it wasn't bundled with anything else.
Yeah, I don't know if many people found it.
Hey, Rex's Twitter account, I'd like to let everybody know, Rex's Twitter account, before the political punditry, was one good follow.
Yeah, a lot of
so,
good
yeah.
videos.
Good follow.
And then COVID started.
But the whole world got into politics, you know, and that's just how it's going to go. And by the way, both parties have been represented in my timeline, have been muted by friends of mine.
Sure.
You know, that I just, hey, I don't need that in my life. I did not know Rex was hosting a show on CNN Plus. Put that on YouTube.
Yeah.
That should go up on YouTube. And that's the problem with anything that's like $6 a month or something like that.
If it's $1 a month, if you have to take the extra steps to go find it, like you're just a lot less likely to do that.
Yeah, especially with how much is free. Like that's the, you know, that's the thing. I've talked to a couple. Nah, I'm not getting into it. I'm up to something, dude.
Oh yeah,
She's up something.
I'm just on the season continues.
It's explaining to people like, okay, so you're competing against internet shows, but you don't have you have more rules than internet shows. Like, why would you? And you got to pay. Like, I don't understand. Is there a winning strategy here? I don't know if there is for some people. But I guess that's always been the thing. Everybody's trying to get money, everybody's trying to, and they see like the WWE, for instance, I think they got like 2 million subscribers or something like that for a long portion of their subscription model kickoff when everybody said they were idiots for doing so. They were going to bury their company, kill their company when they decided to launch their subscription, whatever, 15 years ago. Now everybody's trying to do it. And man, it is not as easy as everybody assumes.
Hey, I hate to cut you off, but I think Vince is very smart. He knew, and we all know, like, wrestling fans are very, very invested in the product, in the programs that are being run by you, Cole, everybody else. Theory, I know you beat his name off of him, but the rest of those guys, like CNN and other places, people tune in and watch, but a lot of times they're like casual fans. They're not super invested. So what makes you think people that are kind of casual fans, all of a sudden everyone is going to go over and pay extra money and do the extra steps?
Political folks, though, are rabid, so maybe that's their thought, but you got to have some cult leader then in your group, right?
But like, let's say the news of the CNN, what were the numbers like? What's their viewership like? What the numbers had to show, like, okay, if even 1/16 of these people come over, we're going to be fine. Like, they have to do that, I would think.
I assume that they did some sort of research into potential growth of the network that they spent $300 million on. I guess. You would assume. But once again, we can say from experience, not everywhere, but some places that appear to be very successful and appear to have it all figured out, you go ahead and just give a little peeksy behind the curtain, ask some questions to the people that are doing some of the things, you go, oh, these people don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of inspiring, actually. It's kind
well,
of...
the guy that championed CNN Plus, he had to resign. So, like, the guy that was running CNN. So there's all kind of turmoil, too, during the rollout.
Well, Zito said that the numbers are in, they're saying less than 10,000 people.
Jesus Christ.
We're watching the show.
I feel like that's a big part of the thing, too, is, like, if you look at the content on there, like, it's like, well, why would I have the cable channel already. Why would I pay for this? Like, with the WWE, like, they have a back catalog of so much shit on there that you can get people to stay because it's like there's no possible way you could watch everything that's on there in 1 month and then get rid of it,
Zito has an updated stat.
Yeah, so they're trying to dive into their average of 773,000 people who watch a day. And then
on CNN?
Yeah, so that's what they were trying to dive into.
Boys, I think we got...
What?
I mean...
Think how many people the people that are watching that CNN... The majority of them are just casual fans where it's on in the background.
Yeah, how many people are croaking while they're watching CNN?
I'm not sure.
And they had a big airport deal that just came up too. Like, I guess airport TV, CNN had a deal with them. Now that's gone too, so they're not being played in airports.
How about Netflix crashing too?
Yeah.
They showed,
what happened?
Well, they showed in their quarterly investor meeting or whatever, they showed for the first time ever a loss in subscribers from the quarter before or whatever. So I guess everybody that was invested was, oh no, it's dying. It'll come back immediately upon them getting content. I mean, it's a roll. They spent like $80 billion or something like that on content. That content now has run its course, and now they're seeing the back end of that, especially as they were raising the dollar amount for the months leading up into this. So that's just the new model for all these subscription bases. Whenever you have shit, people will pay, come over. When people are done with it, they're going to leave. And now everybody's just going to be trying to keep up in the content game.
Yeah, there are some major, like, really tentpole marquee movies that are coming out this summer that are only on Netflix that aren't going to be anywhere else. So I think it was a mixture of that, and like Ozark ends this month, so I'm sure a shitload of people canceled their subscriptions, with that leaving. But yeah, they'll be back in a few months when there's something on there that you can't see anywhere else.
Well, go ahead.
That's why HBO crushes, because HBO Max gets these movies that are in the theaters to go onto their platform like 2 months after. Like Batman's already on that subscription service. They always will have new movies coming there for the people that don't want to go to the movie theater anymore.
Who's HBO have a deal with? Who made that movie? Marvel?
Warner
DC.
DC, but
Time
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
So because it was the HBO Time Warner deal, is that right? So it's all in who's with each other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Who have the deals? Yeah,
HBO's also had the best shows for a long, long time.
true. And then talking about catalogs.
Well,
of the
Winning
WWE.
Time's a bunch of malarkey. That's
Well,
all.
I agree with that. But
Is that on Showtime or HBO?
That's HBO.
HBO.
Mhm. Yeah, because they make originals too. That and so does Netflix, but the HBO originals tend to hit every time, damn near.
It's a new world. AJ, everybody's trying to figure it out.
HBO got Game of Thrones, right?
Yep.
You got Thrones, Sopranos, The Wire.
That'll help you out for a while.
Yeah, Netflix has Breaking Bad. So there you go.
not originally.
Nope.
Netflix had The Office, but that went over to the cock.
Yep.
So
Peacock.
Hey, Peacock's doing it. I was in there. I was in there watching some shit this weekend. I think. What else did I
Baby
watch?
Rock?
I watched John Wayne Gacy's full thing.
Oh, I watched some of that.
Hey, Des Plaines, Illinois, not taking enough credit either for creating one of
Thank you.
an absolute. I mean, he clearly says, "I'm John Gacy. I'm from Waterloo, Iowa, and I fucking run the meal in the kitchen. In the fucking morning and the afternoon, everybody comes through me. Fucking John Gacy."
That gets buried because I think that was the creation of McDonald's.
What's that?
Huh?
That gets buried away because McDonald's was made in Des Plaines, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
So
yeah.
too much of a positive in Des Plaines.
That's where
We get
Michael
rid of the
Keaton
name.
was.
Overshadow.
Too much. Michael Keaton, was that in that Golden Arches movie?
Yeah, what was it called?
The founder.
What happened? He stole?
Yep.
Somebody stole something.
from the McDonald's
Yeah.
brothers.
Goddamn, the McDonald's brothers did it. You know? I will enjoy the hell out of a quarter pounder with cheese whenever it's available.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a burger. You know what I mean?
McChicken.
Everybody knocks it because it's fast food, but it's like, what if it's a good fucking burger, though? Can we just...
Sorry.
It's good food fast, you know.
Boom.
There we go.
AJ, when was the last time you had fast food?
Fast food tastes amazing. I have nothing against it.
When was the last time?
Answer the question, Hawk.
98.
No, I've probably like I've had some chicken tacos from Taco Bell.
Okay.
Sounds
Different
awesome.
things.
Who the fuck
Nugs. I'll
gets
take
chicken?
nugs from Wendy's, McDonald's.
Okay.
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 All right.
Hey, I'm
Not
getting,
too often, but I love it. It's good.
I'm getting in shape again. I'm turning into AJ Hawk.
Yep. There we go. Starts today.
I got burnt on the back on Saturday out by the pool. I'm going to be real tan. Might as well not be fat. You know what I mean?
Time to get yoked.
Time
Here
to
we
get
go.
hooked up. I'm getting a salad for lunch after the show.
Hell yeah.
That'll fill you up.
Well, that's the problem.
You get enough shredded chicken on
What do
that.
you eat?
I mean, salads don't fill me up, unfortunately.
What do you eat? You eat grilled chicken and white rice.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't. That's not every meal. If I have
Boiled
grilled chicken, I
chicken.
put some barbecue on it and like it. But no, same thing every day. A lot of eggs, whatever else I want.
Whoa. Same thing every day. A lot of eggs, whatever else I want.
Print the shirt.
I'm saying it doesn't have to take over your life. I'm saying you don't have to take over your life. You just do it. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I just need to get back into boxing Oculus.
There you go.
That's why I need to get back in there. I need to start throwing bombs again.
That's the key.
I need to get back in there, you know? Because I'm already starting to feel it. The knees are already getting more sore. You know, the heavier I get, the more sore the knees get. It's
Gotta
just,
get the Hokas on to take some of that impact off you.
boom, I automatically get taller, but also it's a sign that, a little bit fatter probably as well. That's the whole life. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. We should do at least one phone call. These people have been online for a long time. Let's go to, you can go Florida, Ohio, Philly, Illinois, Washington, or Oregon.
Wow.
All right, Ty?
Philly.
So 3 different answers. I
Yeah.
thought maybe you'd be the tiebreaker there.
Oregon.
Okay, there we go.
Dealer's choice.
Before we get to Oregon, Philly, New York, or Ohio, we have updated video of Russell Wilson playing football for the Denver Broncos. Oh my God! Let's ride!
Let's ride!
Let's
Holy
fucking ride,
shit.
dude! Russell Wilson was at the Nuggets game, hanging out with Sierra, getting cheered on by the entire Denver community. That city is supposed to be absolutely beautiful. And look who they got at the Trigger Man.
Wow.
Has anybody ever looked better in a Denver Broncos uniform than Russell Wilson right now? The fan base has to be running wild over there in the Mile High City, AJ Hawk.
He looks good. Did Russ always wear his pants even when they're not wearing full pads?
I would assume it's a photo shoot day.
Yeah.
No. It's first day of whatever. I don't think it's photo shoot day.
He's probably getting some photos. They're probably getting some marketing stuff done. Run that back.
To AJ's point, I assume he is the only guy with full gear on.
Some guys do that, though. There's always a couple guys that like to wear their pants.
He's excited to play for a new team. Give him a break.
Is that a name tag or an ad on that?
Yeah, that's a practice jersey, I guess.
There's no name. It doesn't say his name on the back.
No, I thought
That's
they were
not-
wearing the Super Bowl patches for the whole preseason to set the mood.
He did get a haircut yesterday because he did a Q&A on his Instagram, I saw. So.
Okay, shout for the photo shoot or just for life?
I'm assuming for the photo shoot.
Or maybe for this OTAs.
Really?
I used to wear my football pants underneath, no matter what we were wearing.
Why?
Because they're tighter, they're uncomfortable. So on the punt, I try to loosen those things up.
Get used to it.
Give me the game day ones too. I want these things as loose as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we wore white Spanx too. You know what I mean? We wore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those were very tight. Needed those to move. A couple Thanksgivings really did me in there for, weeks 13 through 15. It was an uncomfortable sight. There's some more clips coming out of practice for the Denver Broncos.
He's got eye black on.
Oh,
holy shit!
First of all, Hackett, perfect form taking that rock.
Yeah, he played running back.
Had to. Listen, that's Russell Wilson handing off the trust to his new head coach. Hey, this is me trusting you, pal. All right.
With the
Looks
eye black.
beautiful out there.
The eye black is a great touch.
Denver's very sunny.
Denver is, from all accounts, a fucking legendary city, like a champion city.
Mhm. Yeah, closer to the sun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get as cold as everybody thinks. I guess it doesn't get too warm.
Good cabarets.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Goopy, what's the story of their about their airport?
I've never dove in that deep into that one, AJ.
Come on.
If you get a chance, though, watch the Girls Gone Wild doc that was on TNT on Saturday. It was wild.
Hey, there was a time when GG Dub kind of ran a lot of the infomercials that were being paid for at all times on TV. Girls Gone Wild was when I was in high school, right? I think I was in high school.
Yeah.
And younger.
In 8th grade, 7th grade, you think?
For sure, because, commercials would come on after Howard Stern.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Is that guy still around?
Joe Francis, he is. I don't want to ruin the doc for you if you're going to watch it.
Spoiler, he's in jail forever?
You can.
No, he is. He's down in Mexico, and they can't send him back to the U.S.
No extradition.
Yeah.
He can't.
Whoa, he had that house. I remember he did like a Cribs episode where his house was insanely nice. He's also friends, I think, with the
Kardashians.
Okay, yeah.
Mario Lopez, very close with as well.
Mario Lopez.
What?
Yeah, people.
AC Slater?
People aren't happy with.
Is it
Mario
similar to the
Lopez.
docs they put out before or different?
No, it's
How
more
many
about
docs have you
his
watched?
life.
Girls Gone Wild, probably like 5 or 7, 12-ish.
Not the ones he made, the docs follow.
Oh, 0.
Okay. We get it. We get what you're saying, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
That had a run there, though, and then it all ended pretty bad. It seemed like that was
taking time.
an aggressive business.
TNT's doing a run of documentaries on Saturday night. There's one about the media against Wu-Tang Clan coming up as well.
I'm excited for that. Is meth in that thing or not?
I didn't see him in there. I just saw a quick preview.
If he's speaking, it's going to be entertaining. That is
Martin
just,
Shkreli in it?
Maybe.
Marty?
What did he do to Wu-Tang?
He lost that record, by the way.
Oh no.
That was like the most expensive Wu-Tang Clan. He bought it. The record, it was like no one's ever listened to it.
The vinyl?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
He's the kid who drove the price up.
Yeah, I remember. He a big time ass.
I think that was taken away from him.
Sorry, Marty.
So people, I'm going back to that Elon Musk thing. People are so mad. I mean, like people are
pissed.
What does this surprise you all the time?
just because I don't understand. Who cares? Who cares?
Anytime there's a
people
change,
seem to
people
care.
are going
It's
to
not
get
going to
pissed.
change their lives.
No matter what.
Yeah, but people get so mad about everything. I
Because
guess.
they get mad about.
I wish I was better at that. Like wanting to care about everything. As
I think you're all right.
No, but everybody's such better people than me. I feel like you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes you a better person.
Yeah.
Duh.
to just have outrage over random things that don't affect your life, which they'll say, oh, this absolutely will affect your life.
I get to have a lot of random conversations with these SmackDowns, you know what I mean, with people around, just like quick conversations, whether there's people in the back, get to meet a lot of people that listen to the show, watch the show, and then like some people I just kind of briefly run into and have a conversation with, and they're pissed off about something, and in my immediate head, I'm like, you are such a better person than I am. Like, who gives a fuck about whatever? That is a real thing. That is a legitimate thing, but I have no idea how you're going to change it with me right now in this elevator as we're going down. You know, I appreciate the fact that you think the more you say it, like it's going to change, like I do, but goddamn, I don't know if I'm the right one. I don't know enough about it to get in there. But there is people that think they think they're going to change the world.
Yeah, they just got to tell everyone and continue to repeat themselves.
So they're better people than you and I are. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So I was right about it. They
Yep.
are all better people than me.
Yep.
That's what makes you a better person. They're much better than us.
They're definitely better than you.
Yeah, I mean, a bag of poop is better than me, so I'm not worried about those people.
No, you're not. You contribute a lot more to society than any bag of poop ever.
I don't know about that because if it decomposes and a fire grows in it, then what?
True. That's a really good point.
That's a good.
What if it's left on Johnny Depp's bed?
You are a flower,
If
Connor.
it's
You're a good
left
guy,
on-
dude.
Yeah, you are a good
Thanks.
guy.
If it's left on Johnny Depp's bed, then it's kind of serving a purpose. You can get a new comforter.
And it's
Well,
also
they
content.
blurred out the turd. I wonder how big it was. 'Cause I know she tried to blame it on the dog at first.
Yeah, and then he, the 4-pound. He gave the height. He gave the billing of the dog.
Yeah.
As everybody was staring at the
By
piece.
way,
Johnny's working the cameras in the corner.
Oh yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah.
so is she though. There's been a couple clips
Nah,
of her.
she's been
Johnny
caught
still got it.
panicking
She
pretty good with
stinks.
her lawyer.
Johnny's
been
good.
working.
There's a couple clips of her though laughing with her lawyer, and then immediately right back to a very sad, upset face.
And scene.
And scene.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
I saw her
She
copping
is.
her. She was rocking his outfits.
Yeah.
He would wear something, and she would wear something very similar, if not identical, the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Why?
mind.
A lot of
good
mind games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them are just going back.
What
and
if they
forth.
get back together?
That'd be
They should.
They
probably
might
will
have
happen.
to.
What is wrong? What is going on?
People
What
are,
if they get remarried?
Oh no!
That'd be
If
sick.
they get back together, the only way this ends is like her cutting Johnny Depp's penis off with like some garden shears or something. He needs to make sure he does not get back together with her.
I agree.
It's a toxic relationship. It sounds like
It is.
And where's
Little
she gonna
bit.
poop next?
Just a
You
little
know?
bit.
Well, hey, poopy sticks.
Oh, poop sticks.
That's an inside joke. We will get out of here. All right, AJ. Thank you for today, man. You crushed it today.
Yeah, thank you.
How about Kevin O'Connell being much cooler than any of us could
Yeah,
have
he's
imagined?
awesome. Hammer the Vikings.
Ian Rapport seems to be dialed in right now. He has a really good setup
Yes, he does.
in Vegas. We just seen it on NFL Network. He looks awesome.
He's already. Oh, I guess. Yeah, I saw him tweet. He's already there.
He's going to be there all week. His wife. She has to.
She hates that
Absolute
guy.
angel.
I think about my wife and how bad she has to hate me, because I'm like on my phone or whatever. Rappaport is like while he's talking to us, he has 3 things going on in the background. Like I guess that's why the Harry Potter thing and the Pez dispenser thing.
Yeah.
But he's very good at what he does, and we appreciate him.
And even when he's there, he's still on his phone. Like, hey, Jude, shut the fuck up. I got to break this, okay? Stop. I took you to the goddamn museum. Just go look at shit.
Did you see Harry Potter? Did you take a
Yeah.
picture? Go grab a Pez dispenser. It tastes terrible, but you're going to love it because it's your dad's favorite.
Yeah. Now get the hell out of here.
And tell your mom I need her to smoke some more.
Yeah.
needs more
I want
ribs.
fucking ribs for dinner. All right?
What a life. We appreciate Ian's dedication, the entire family. I appreciate everybody's significant others for putting up with what we do for a living, to be honest with you. This Draft Spectacular week will roll on manana. Big thanks. I mean, I almost called him Ed Sheeran, but
Yeah. His brother.
Johnny Books.
John Sheeran. Johnny Books, head odds maker for FanDuel. That was a good convo, AJ. Felt good about that one. I feel like we won at him a little bit.
First off, he's awesome. I know. Was he at the Super Bowl?
Yes, he was on.
He was on Hammer Down, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw him. I remember someone telling me, "Oh, hey, he does everything for FanDuel, basically." So I saw him there. I know how much you guys liked him.
Yeah, he said his headphones didn't fit because AJ was wearing them.
Yeah.
That was a good clip.
Remember that?
Were we gone for that? I think we were gone for that.
I think that was on.
It was Friday.
Friday, yeah. So
You were in the bullpen.
Oh.
before the bullpen.
Radio Row is a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll look back at Radio Row in the Super Bowl
Hell yeah.
to kick off the Draft Spectacular. Before we look at the next generation, let's take a peek at the generation that just won it all.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what we'll do to kick off the Draft Spectacular. Ain't that right, AJ?
I mean, I think you just produced the show.
Well. All right. Let's get out of here.
Good luck with your workout this afternoon.
Thank you. I'm a box. I've decided. I'm a box.
Okay.
Probably 2-3 people.
What?
Be all yoked up, maybe get in the sauna so I can sweat out some more fat.
There you go. Work your way in.
From the Guy Fieri garage of oil.
Dumps.
3's a lot.
What's that, pal?
3's a challenge.
Are you still fighting people in there?
Nah, it's nice out, so I've been going for runs.
Oh, you've been actually working out, you said. That's fucked up. Hey, Tyson Fury, fucking hey. What, was that the cleanest uppercut of all time?
He's awesome.
That thing landed so flat. That looked like it had to hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Whenever they showed the replay, as it quickly happened, boom, 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 this thing's over. Holy hell, Tyson Fury, thank you for hitting that. That seemed to be the most obvious super boost in the history of super boost, especially after seeing the weigh-ins and the stare downs and how everything was going. And as soon as that first round started, it was like, okay, Tyson's going to kill this guy. But that uppercut, he said he was just throwing those jabs just to try to loosen the guy up a little bit. And they did for 5 rounds. He's just loosening this guy up. And then as soon as perfect punch, they were calling it. A perfect punch to end his boxing career, although he called out Francis Ngannou afterwards. I can't wait to see the 2 heavyweight champs battle it out, how they choose to do so. Tyson's going to have quite a size advantage if they're just standing up and punching without boxing glove. They're putting on UFC gloves, but I won't put anything past Francis. I love that. I enjoyed the timing in which it was at. I think it was at like 5 o'clock, 5:15.
Yes.
I enjoyed the long-ass entrance from Tyson. Hated Dylan's long entrance, no offense. He just didn't invest as much into it as Tyson Fury. How about him being from London, getting booed in his own time?
Yeah,
and then the Gypsy King comes out and they got a fucking throne up there for him. What a moment, what a scene. I'm happy for Tyson, AJ.
Yeah, I just wish he would have more fights. I know he says he's done boxing, but I would hope that someone throws $100 million at him to box somebody.
Well, I guess his wife said that she could see him coming back for the Usyk Joshua. Is that a fight that's happening?
Anthony Joshua? I don't know if he's fought him yet. That was supposed to be.
What's
like
the USYK? That's somebody as well?
Yes. Alexander Usyk
Is fighting Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
Boom. So his wife came out, I think, and said, maybe that, I don't know if it was her, it was from a tweet that said it was from her, so it might not be real. It might just be people hoping to put it in there. But I guess that winner would be a big-time fight for Tyson, another massive fight if it was presented to him. His wife did say that, okay.
And if not him, Drew McIntyre. He also put him on the
You're right, SummerSlam.
on the stove.
Yeah.
Where's Butch?
Well, that is something that is
Where is Bush?
alarming to all of us. I don't know where that little fucker is.
I'm scared.
Probably in the
I was listening to the police reports, just trying to see if I could hear him, but
probably in the vents.
I haven't heard anything about him.
I don't know, dude. He allegedly
Luka Doncic?
Well,
Absolute maniac.
that was Coachella there. And
That's where Butch was.
they're just telling people at Coachella, maybe keep an eye out. If you see Butch on the loose, fucking return him kindly to his rightful owners, Sheamus and Ridge Holland.
He'll gnaw your fingers off.
Sheamus has his cap, doesn't he?
What's that,
I
pal?
thought Sheamus had his cap.
Yeah, I believe Mate left his cap, but he has enough Kangos that he puts another one right back
He's
on
a
top.
fucking menace.
Hey, Butch is a wild man.
Yeah, rabid dog.
He is a rabid dog, isn't he? Old Butch. That's Butch, AJ.
Yeah, was Butch somebody else?
What? How dare you?
He's always been Butch, dude.
Is this a Ezekiel situation?
No.
What are you talking about?
This
Is this the younger brother?
That's
of
Butch, dude.
What are you talking about?
Same guy, just in a different group of friends. He was referred.
Chiampa, right? Isn't that his name?
Oh,
Chiampa.
Is it
You
J-
son of a
the-
bitch.
The jacked Goopy. Is that who it is?
Yeah,
Tommaso
Gump.
He's on Raw.
I mean, how the hell are you supposed to keep all this stuff straight?
Open your
Watch
eyes.
the product.
Prick.
follow the product, dude.
It's
Chomp
so
ups.
hard. All right, there's 700 programs running at all times. How can I?
No.
Anyways, he was
So
referred.
I'm right.
No,
No, you're not.
No.
That's
Ciampa.
Chiampa.
No, it's not.
No.
Champa, dude.
So at certain times during his NXT run, Butch was called Pete Dunne, which is his birth name.
Right.
With the Eastie Boys, the crew that he's been friends with for a long time, long before he was ever in NXT, now reunited finally back on SmackDown, Ridge Holland and Sheamus, they always just called him Butch. Like that's his nickname in that group. It's like, hey, Butch, hey, Ridge the Fridge, hey, Jamie, oh, a bunch of hooligans.
Oh, yeah.
So that is, you know him from his days under his birth name, Pete Dunne, but he's back with his boys that he used to run around the streets of Ireland and the UK with, beating people up,
I knew he
AJ.
looked familiar.
Yeah.
He looks great. He's in great shape.
He's a fucking loose cannon.
Yeah, be careful. He
He
eats
was
your
an
face
absolute tactician as Pete Dunne. Is he still an absolute tactician?
He is, but he loses his mind all of a sudden. He got back with the boys and just kind of lost his cool on a regular basis. He is actually missing right now. He ran away the other night on Friday. Butch is missing currently. There's a
What if you
real
just
worry about where the
kick that
fuck
door
Butch
in?
is.
What if you just kick kick that door right now.
He would.
Possible.
That's something that Butch.
That's what he would do. Yeah.
If he does, keep your fingies closed.
He
because
will
he'll-
gnaw them off.
No, he'll break your digits.
This is Photoshop because Butch would never go to Coachella.
No,
He would have
never.
mangled all of those people.
But WWE is saying, hey, a lot of people are there. Please keep an eye out. We are missing Butch.
Right.
This is what it could look like if he was in there, tripping balls and celebrating and having a good time, which Butch does not do, by the way. Butch, I don't think has a good time. I don't think Butch ever has a good time.
I'm not so sure he just went to Coachella to beat the hell out of some people.
Well, then in that case, cops go. Butch will fuck some people up.
Be on the lookout, cops. Get your riot gear.
Where is Butch?
Is this a bit? I don't understand what's happening right now.
Where's Butch?
I'm trying to figure out this Butch situation.
Where the hell's Butch?
You're the one calling him Chiampa, you prick.
That's Tommaso.
Yeah, it's Ciampa.
I don't know where he's at.
He's on Raw.
Oh,
Is
he's
he?
gone too?
I think so.
He was on SmackDown a couple days. He was
They
there.
don't want to check into all these guys that are missing. What is it? Elias is missing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ciampa's missing.
No.
Butch is missing.
No.
Ciampa's on Raw. He should be on SmackDown. Though. Come on.
You know,
over.
Dongo's doing houses dominating.
Well, he's wrestling too. He's winning. He's a champion somewhere.
I hope Zeke beat someone's ass tonight.
Hey, Sonya Deville takes on Bianca Belair tonight for the championship.
Punch for that.
Here we go.
Let's go, Bianca.
Yeah.
Is Zeke gonna ref it?
I think she's healed from the eye. I don't know if Ezekiel is a ref or
He
not.
ain't a ref. He's a superstar.
Well, no, I mean, but sometimes superstars ref.
Not this one.
Not
Special
this
guest
time.
referee.
Not this time.
You've heard of it.
Maybe Butch will come back and be the ref.
I hope
Butch
not.
ain't ever going to be a ref. Butch hates rules. He ain't officiating rules.
Yeah.
Exactly. If he's a ref.
All right, we're out of here. Ben Simmons and CEO of Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, met with GM Sean Marks in Nets leadership today to discuss how they continue to work through the physical and mental hurdles needed to get Simmons back on the court, reports Adrian Wojnarowski.
They don't have to worry about that because their season's over.
I'm afraid it is way too late for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rich Paul was like, hey, Ben, what's going on? Sword back. All right, we got to at least tell these people. Don't you think they're paying you like $40 million? We should tell them you're not going to play. Did anything come from the conversation? What did Mr. Marks say? What did...
He said you're a bitch-made cat. We
Yeah.
need you out there.
If they're playing tonight. Like, if they lose tonight, who cares what his process is?
What if Rich Paul showed him the clip earlier of us talking about him having the biggest babyface turn in the history of babyface turns? If he just goes out there tonight and drops a quick 10, has 4 or 5 steals, everybody loves him. Oh my God, the Nets are back. He can change it all around. That's amazing.
Yeah. 0% chance because he is, in fact, a bitch-made cat. But
Jeez Louise.
Maybe.
Elon Musk has tweeted just one moment ago. Yes, he says, with hearts and stars and rocket ships around them. Then he screenshotted his notes section, just like all of us would do, and posted on his Twitter account. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. And Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, said Mr. Musk from Mr. Musk's Twitter account. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithm open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. Hey, all right.
Thank you, Elon.
All right, Elon.
Go get him.
Mr. Musk said about Mr. Musk's statements. Here we go.
Pumped.
That's Monday. We're back tomorrow in about 19 hours and 15 minutes. Hammer Down will be in about 15, 20 minutes. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this glorious day. We'll see you manana.